Yo! At last, we're back. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? My apologies for the delay. It's good to see you all. Just real quick, you guys let me know if you can hear me. My microphone, it says it's picking up, it says the stream is on, but I just want to make sure that we're all in the room together. How are you all, guys? Nevada, Appleman, Gold Games, we got members in the building. What's up, Nightmare? Derek Langley, nice to see you, my brother. Mal's up. Hello, Mal. Hello, Abyss. Hello, TJK. Hello, Faceless Art and Skills. Mixed Giraffe, another member in the building. Billy Bob. Hey, you're getting me loud and clear. Well, definitely loud. There's going to be plenty of loud. There's going to be a moderate amount of loud because I'm still sick. So that's the first thing I want to do is apologize to you guys. I'm going to cough a lot today because I can already feel it building in my throat. My body's just sort of like turned against me all of a sudden. I'm so soft and fleshy. Like, I can't wait to be a robot. But hi everyone, how are you all? Minecraft Bro, how you doing? Blazing Fire, my boy Parks is in the building. Ariane's up in here, hello, hello. I'm really glad everyone's going well. Everybody looks good, everybody's happy. And everyone's voting on the poll as well, and I forgot what question I asked. But yeah, oh yeah, do you believe Little Nightmares 3 will be delayed? Because obviously there is much to discuss, guys. It's been a minute. And while I was, excuse me, while I was away in the hospital and things like that, there was news brought to my attention by a couple of people. And yeah, it's not great news, but I think we're okay, and I'll get to why in a little bit. But first, I want to finish greeting everyone. Let people get in if they want to get in. Anybody that wants to share this stream with their friends, anybody that loves Little Nightmares, anyone that wants to theorize with us, feel free to stop by and say hi. Give this a share on Discord, on Facebook, on like wherever you want to share it. Because, like I say, there is a lot to talk about. Also, I am going to be reading a lot of your messages as well, so as these messages come through, I am going to be trying to read them. So if you've got thoughts and theories and everything like that, then yeah, Appleman explains a lack of uploads. Exactly, yeah. It's like I literally can't make a video if I can't get to my desk, and it really sucks. But I am back now, and funnily enough, this morning I wrapped up a video that I think you guys will really enjoy, or at least I hope you guys will really enjoy, because it was hard to make, and it's like, and I had to animate some of it as well. Now, when I use the term animate very loosely, because it's rudimentary at best. It's the first time I've ever tried to actually animate anything, full stop, and I only gave myself like 24 hours to do it, because I wanted you guys to have a video. But it could be the beginning of something particularly good, and it's the kind of video that I could essentially remake in the future. So, like when things get when we get some more information come to light. How did you escape, and how was I not captured by the doctor? I ducked, I dove, I beat on hands, and then I shut him in the incinerator. That's how I got away. I finally gone back to Little Nightmares videos. Face like I teared up after watching Matt. I've literally just watched it about 20 minutes ago. I watched Matt Pat's departure, and it's so sad. Like, I can't believe, because I've only just learned about Matt Pat like a couple of months ago. I really I've only just discovered him, and people are always shocked because like, how do you not know Matt Pat? He's like a YouTube OG, and he is, and of course I've heard of him, but I've never watched game theory, film theory, style theory, you know, all this multitude of businesses that he has, and he's incredible, and his work is astonishing, and I'm like, oh my god, this would have helped me. If I had known I was going to become a theorist, then I maybe would have tuned into Matt Pat a long time ago, but yeah, hey ho. When will you play Fallout 4? I'm not playing Fallout. Well, yeah. It's sad what's happening with Supermassive. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And also, I'll get to that in a moment. Lost Chi, hello. Heyo, how are you doing? Faceless Art and Skills says, by the way, I'm excited for Mother's Day tomorrow. I even drew a piece for it. Oh, that's great. I'd love to see that. I'm excited for Mother's Day too. I'm going to go see my mama because she's a lovely woman. And even though it's her day where she should be celebrated and should be given gifts, she tends to make cake. And do a big dinner and everything for like any kind of celebration. Of course, I'm going to take her gifts and things like that. I'm not just going around so she'll feed me. my mum's amazing though, so yeah, I'm very excited for Mother's Day. It's going to be awesome. I feel so in the dark. Why? Why are you in the dark? Who shut you out? Mal says, wait, what's happening with Supermassive? I'll tell you in just a moment. Just a moment. That's a cool background. Thank you. I really like the duality aspect. It matches my aesthetic. Yeah, Ghoul Games is right. They're having to fire new employees to save money because they're having money problems. Fipsy B2 is in the building. Gemini, how are you doing? Are you fully recovered? No, I'm not. I'm due back in hospital next week. But they've released me on like on a temporary basis, and I've just got to like rest up, knuckle down, and try and try and not die in the meantime. I am absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong. It's nothing that I can't handle. It just means that things are going to be a little bit slower than usual, and I'm having to really like be systematic with my rest versus the gym versus going to work and all the rest of it. So I'm having to balance out, but I don't want anyone worrying. I'm absolutely fine, and anytime I go to the gym, it will be I'll take it easy. I won't be absolutely crushing it like I normally do because I'm so oh man, Nevada loves Fallout. Great job of escaping the doctor. Thank you, Billy Bob. I wish Matt Pat gave Little Nightmares 2 a chance. I really wish he did. A part of me, even when I watched that video, I half expected him to touch on it. I don't know, I was just wishful thinking, but I really, really wish, because Matt Pat, unbelievable theorist. Very, very intelligent man with such an incredible team behind him. So, yeah, I would have loved to see that. Will you play Doom? I might do. Yeah, I mean, Doom's good fun, but I haven't played it for a long time. I haven't played any of the new ones, but Doom is totally my kind of game. Altak says, yo, Jim, are you okay? Yes, I am fine. I'm absolutely fine, my brother. I appreciate you asking. Matt Pat's leaving YouTube. He'll always come back. He always comes back. Matt Pat is Purple Guy confirmed. Or Afton confirmed. I'm not sure which one that is. I don't know Five Nights at Freddy's all that well. Nightmare, speaking of cake, I'm actually going to a birthday party today. Hey, lucky you. And yeah, I'd rather be going to a birthday party than sitting listening to me spout nonsense. Absolutely, you enjoy yourself. Gemini, did you see my messages? I did, Minecraft Bro. I did, regarding Fallout 4. And I've never played any of the Fallout series. Ever. It's not that I don't think the games are good, it's just I tend to avoid the mainstream. The only mainstream games I actually play are Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil. The rest of them, it all just gets kind of lost, and like, I don't really get the hype. I'm more into your like intellectual indie games like Little Nightmares or like Poppy Playtime and FNAF and things like that. The mainstream games are great, don't get me wrong, but I think you have to like open with a series like the games I started with, you know, the mainstream games that I really started with, like Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, God of War. They're the games where if a new one comes out, I will play them, but I wouldn't just pick up Fallout 4 and randomly play it, because I haven't played 1 through 3, if they even exist. I'm absolutely fine. Dies. So sorry if I'm missing chat. It's going a little bit quick, and that's not a bad thing. But I also don't want you guys to feel neglected, because I'm not trying to skip over any of these messages. Yeah, I can only do so much, and I'm rather slow today as well. So please bear with me. I am still recovering. Make sure I get plenty of rest. I will. Billy Bob. Matt Pat cared about Garden of Banban. It's the same when I see Jacksepticeye playing Garden of Banban, and he's like, how did I end up being the Garden of Banban guy? What's up, Six? How you doing? Solar Max in the building. What's up? I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine, Solar Max. I appreciate you asking. How are you, my brother? You doing okay? Alex the Frog's here as well, with typical Matt Pat behaviour. Yep. Discord server when? I have a Discord, but it's the problem is it's reserved only for what's called Boom Squad members. So like members of my membership program, which is the Boom Squad, which you can access with the join button down below, they get access to my Discord server, and it's because I've started a Discord before. And I can't keep up with it because, like, if I start a Discord server, there'll be hundreds of people on it, and the messages will never stop, and I won't be able to reply to them all, and I'll just feel super rude. I can't manage it well, and I can't afford to pay someone to do it for me. So I have a Discord server, but it's very secret for the inner circle Boom Squad. You know, so only very select people will have access to Discord, or at least my Discord. You can find me on there, and feel free to shoot me a message whenever you want. It's just I always try and preface it by saying you can message me and I will message back, but it might take literal weeks before I get to the end of it. Like, I've got about 1,700 messages unread at the moment on Discord. I'm not on it enough. I think it's 1,700. 1,680 unread messages at the moment. So, like I said, I'll go through about 100 of them while I'm sitting there not doing much, while I'm drinking a coffee or whatever. And then, I'll go to bed and I wake up and there'll be 300 more. It's just impossible. So, I do try. I promise I try. Yeah, a lot of people in. A lot of people kicking around. It's popular. Is Clamori here? There were earlier on. You don't need to play all the other Fallout games to play Fallout 4. They're different games with different plots in the same universe. Oh, fair enough then. Alright. I mean, I might give it a shot. I don't know. It's just, I don't have a lot of time to game. Like, seriously, it's surprising because you would think as a YouTube gamer, that's all I do. I don't. I work like 14-hour days. I work 12-hour shifts and then I work out at the gym, where I also work. So it's like, it's really hard for me to actually pick up a game and play it for enjoyment. That's one of the main reasons I stopped gaming in general and started to theorize, because although I love theorizing, I'd prefer to just sit here and play video games. That would be loads easier. But I just don't have the time. I really don't. Like when people say, "Oh, did you see that new show on Netflix?" No. The last new show I watched on Netflix was Rick and Morty season 5. And I know there's a new season, I just literally haven't had time. It's probably been out for a year now, and I haven't fired up Netflix in all that time, because I don't have time to sit. Like, by the time I get home from work, I bathe, I eat, I go to the gym, I work out for 3 hours, and then I work at the gym for 2 hours with clients, and then I come home. By which time, I've been awake for 17 solid hours, I'll theorize for an hour, or I'll edit a video, or do whatever it is I've got with the energy I have left, and then I'll pass out. It's one of the main reasons I've been in hospital. Yeah, I'm sad about Matt Pat's retirement, but also he's not going anywhere. Like, it's going to change, the dynamic of his channel is going to change and things like that, but Matt Pat is still going to be very much a presence on YouTube. I think he always will be. My poor Amor. Oh, my poor Armour. Sorry, Amor. I read that in French. Good Lord. How much is membership? They start at 99p. It depends on where you're from, but in the United Kingdom, it's 99 pence. So you pay 99 pence a month, and it's like that. You can find it all if you click the join tab, or if you go to my channel and slide across to memberships. There's all different levels that you can have, and each one comes with a different perk. Hey Gemini, you see my drawing I sent you? Not the most recent one. But again, I've been like offline for a little while, and I've only been able to reply to a certain amount of messages, but I will see it, Faceless, as you know, because we've messaged before on Discord, actually. 50, Gemini, do you think Little Nightmares 3 will get delayed? I've been debating this for months. Now, as I always thought it was me being impatient, now with the Supermassive news, I'm reconsidering. All right. I'll address that, Fipsy, in just a moment. Let me just cover a couple more of these messages, and then I'm going to try and break down my thoughts and feelings on the Supermassive situation. Ooh, accidentally discovered a figure on one of the Little Nightmares covers. That'd be interesting to see. Nevada says I should play Poppy Playtime. I did play Poppy Playtime, but it was a while ago, because I only played Chapter 1. It was awesome and I really enjoyed it. It was really cool. I probably will play the rest of them in time, but again, I don't have a lot of time to play games, but if I do, Poppy Playtime is absolutely something I would pick up. Do you guys know the Sounds of Nightmares podcast just added subtitles? Now we can feel... Oh, right, that's awesome. Alex the Frog, I didn't know that. And weirdly enough, while I was laid out in the hosp, I was listening to Sounds of Nightmares, and I discovered a couple of new things about it myself. Just a few little tidbits, like, for some reason, you know, like in chapter 1, for instance, like, spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't listened to it by now, you should. Please go ahead and do so. But yeah, the lady of the tower, as it were, like the stone giant, as she referred to it, there was like a lady in control surrounded by projects, and she had like a long nun's dress with chains coming out from under it. Well, for some reason in my head she wore a mask, and I've always imagined she wore a mask. I even drew a concept art of her about half a year ago wearing a mask. So in my head canon, she was always a masked person because the lady of the mall wore a mask. But that's not true, because Noon actually describes her face being like stretched over her eyes like that. So it's like she was wearing a mask, but it was like made of skin. You know, so it was like a pulled back. I imagine it like that Momo thing from years ago, if anyone remembers that. I could watch your stream for 5 minutes. Oh, Kaima Heinesson, I can't believe you made it. I'm so glad to see you. Hey, it was really good of you to show up. I know you're super busy today. I know you've got 101 things to do, so I do not expect you to be here for any amount of time. I'm surprised to see you at all, but thank you so much for stopping by and saying hello to me. It's really good to see you. Mixture of sense and overworked. Yeah, just a lot. Random channel. Hello there, random channel. It's good to see you, and I like your profile picture. From what I can see of it, matches my aesthetic. So far, 2 people in chat have said hi to me and I didn't know. Yeah, man. Yeah, Bass, you are well known. You are the OST person. You're the one with the knowledge. Yeah, he's Gnome Hat. Abyss and Nightmare, the first people I met. Yeah, actually, 6, you guys all know each other. Well, some of you guys know each other. Don't know wants to blow up your bins again. Somebody literally... Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, I was in the middle of recording a video and heard an almighty crash from outside. And when I went downstairs, someone had literally firebombed my garbage. There was just molten plastic and fire everywhere, all the way up the alleyway, because somebody popped a grenade into my frigging trash bin. Couldn't believe it. Unbelievable. I have a theory, is that end of Little Nightmares 3 is something bad will happen to Law, something how Mono turns into Thin Man. Yeah, I kind of think something similar, but I think that it'll turn out that Alone has been travelling with the ferryman the whole time, and Law's actually dead. Like, it'll make it like something will happen to them in the early stages of the game, like the monster baby will grab them, they'll both wake up, and they'll appear to get out of it unscathed. But actually Law didn't. Law dies in the early stages of the game, but we don't know. We continue to play alongside the ferryman in disguise until right at the last minute when they're about to escape the nowhere or do whatever it is to the climax of the game. Then it will be revealed that Law actually died. He'll turn into the ferryman and he'll send Alone on her way, or whatever the case might be. I think that could be interesting. Gemini, I should do a video about Alone. I should, and I've been thinking about what kind of concept I could throw towards Alone, because I know she's a tinkerer, so she's obviously quite an intelligent kid. She would be a really, really interesting character. I'm just waiting for a little bit more, because the only thing that I really had to discuss about Law is, well, his mask, briefly, and then his anklet. But it's only because I have one. I have the exact same one, so it was a topic of discussion I felt familiar with. But Alone, I don't really relate to in any way, other than she's got red hair, kind of like me. There is a lot I like about Alone, and there's a lot of questions that I would like to answer about Alone, but I don't feel like I've done enough research on the character just yet. But if enough people are interested, I will absolutely make up a theory on Alone and try and consider her a little bit more. Right then, guys. Okay, just this one last one, and then I'm going to start talking about something different. My issue is that there is a sad ending, and one of them dies or gets betrayed, and how does that work in multiplayer? Well, this is the thing, you wouldn't know. If it's right, if the theory about it is right, the game, it'll only be revealed in, like, the end cutscene. So there'll be no more gameplay after it's revealed. It'll be, like, the end sequence to the game. So you won't play as... Like, you will be playing as the ferryman, but you won't know you're playing as the ferryman, kind of thing. The game will just proceed down the narrative as usual, and you'll only find out that it's the ferryman, and something did happen to Lo in the early stages after the game was concluded and reached its final cutscene. I think, but I'm not entirely sure. If there was a Little Nightmares movie, would I go see it? Yes, Kenshi Dude, yes, I would. I would do everything in my power to do that. What would I do if Little Nightmares was in real life? You know, recently I've been starting to feel like it is. Anyway, let me just address this real quick. Supermassive have announced that they have to make cuts, and they will be laying off a considerable amount of staff, and they're trying to do it in the most amicable and professional way possible so as to preserve people's dignity and economic standing. It does suck, and it is happening, and it does pose potential problems for the release of Little Nightmares 3. However, something that I think is overlooked is the fact that Supermassive are quite a big company, and they have been in the works for a long time. They've known where they were financially for years. They have to. Like, it's part of accountancy. They need to know when they're in the red, when they're in the black, and when they can afford to make an investment. And I don't think they would have let it get to the stage where they announce a brand new game. And it's not just Little Nightmares either. There's another Dark Anthology coming out as well. And another addition to the Dark Anthology series as well. They've got 2 games in the works at the moment. I think that it could be that the only reason they need to lay off the staff is to come up with the costs for advertising. I feel like the games will be well on the way to being fully developed if they're not already entirely realised right now. I think they might just be in the polishing stages, because they promised us the works this year. They promised us Little Nightmares 3 this year, and they promised us the Dark Anthology extension as well. And I feel like Supermassive are a professional enough company to have recognised their financial or economical distinction earlier than this. So I think if they thought it was going to impact the release of Little Nightmares 3, they wouldn't have bothered advertising it at Gamescom. They wouldn't have told us about it. They would have just had us wait, because nobody was expecting it. So unless this sudden turn of financial difficulty has just suddenly hit them in the last month or two, then I don't think that they didn't see it coming. I don't think that Supermassive are the kind of company that wouldn't have made preparations for this kind of impact. They like, companies like this tend to have contingency plans. I'm hoping, anyway. I just feel like that they will have something in the works to keep this going. I feel like Little Nightmares 3, it won't be delayed. It might get a bit less advertising than was hoped for, but Little Nightmares 3 doesn't need it. You know, like, anyone that's played Little Nightmares, one of the 12 million people that played Little Nightmares 2, 99% of those are going to play like Little Nightmares 3. We all know it exists. We know it's out there. Sorry. Need another sad ending. Oh, there will be Ghoul Games. There will be. Trust me. I've got a bet on with 50B2 actually at the moment that if Little Nightmares 3 gives us a happy ending, I'm going to eat my hat. And I don't own a hat, but I will go out, I will purchase a hat, I will go live, and I will consume it in front of you guys. It'll be a long stream and it will not be pleasant to watch. But I'll do it because we're not getting a happy ending. No. If Supermassive give us a happy ending with Little Nightmares 3, they have failed us as a game studio, because it just doesn't work with the law. That's all I'm saying on the matter. I'm not eating a hat. But if you ask FipsyB2, he will continuously remind me of the fact that I said that, and I'm not denying it in any way. I'm right here, I'm live, and I'm saying it. I will do it, because I'm right. Trust. I don't know why, but you remind me of Ed Sheeran. You know, it's funny, Appleman. I was outside yesterday, and I was speaking to a guy, and he said, "You look a little bit like Ed Sheeran," and I didn't hear what he said. It's not the first time I've heard it either, but Ed Sheeran is considerably more talented than I am, so I'm going to take it as a compliment. But yeah, not the first time I've heard that. I think Ed Sheeran's got more hair and he's got glasses. But, yeah, maybe if I could play guitar and sing. Faceless Art's got to head out now. Ah, no worries. I'm sorry it took me so long to read, but I'll see you soon, Faceless Art. I'll be sure to check out the picture that you sent me and enjoy Mother's Day tomorrow. if you want to play Little Nightmares in real life, just go get Gru Shrink Ray from Despicable Me and use it on yourself, and there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's a logical explanation. Why wouldn't you do that? It seems like the sort of thing you could do without any kind of repercussions. Oh yeah. One thing I can tell you, Little Nightmares for ocean animals. Ooh, ocean animals is dying, we need to help them. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, actually, yeah. Yeah, I actually donated to Team Seas when Mr. Beast was doing the big, I think it was like a $30 million cleanup or something like that. It was insane anyway. I didn't donate much because I'm broke, but every little helps. Anyone got Discord? A few of these guys I'm sure will do. Also, don't think the 20-minute gameplay would have come out if it wasn't ready to be released. Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. And bear in mind that gameplay that we saw was pre-alpha. And this is something else. I'm not sure if I'm not sure how much of it I'm supposed to say, but Just Jord had already seen it way before it came out. Because Just Jord was presented with that when he was working on the Sounds of Nightmares. So before the Sounds of Nightmares was even finalised, It's Just Jord was showed that pre-alpha footage, which means that when we saw it 6 months ago, it had already existed for 6 months prior to that. So it's been out for a long time. It's been in that condition for over a year. So the game, I'm assuming, if like from a developer's perspective, which I'm not, but if I was to look at it like that and someone said, right, you've got a year to work on this, but this is what you've got. If the pre-alpha was what I was working on, and I just had to get it from pre-alpha, which is what we experienced, to a fully playable like game for sale commercially, I'd be ecstatic with that because I don't feel like there was a lot of work that needed doing to it. I definitely don't think it needed a year's worth of work, but I'm glad that they've put it in because they've put a year's worth of work in it since then. So I think we're safe, guys. I mean, fingers crossed, and I'm touching wood because I don't know anything, but like, contrary to popular belief, I don't work for Supermassive, nor Tarsier, nor Bandai. I value them very much. I think they're incredible studios, but yeah, I think we're all right. I think these guys know what they're doing. I wouldn't panic too much. Have you gotten all the achievements in the second game? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's right, Gemini, counting down the hours until a hat gets consumed. You can keep counting, my brother. You can keep counting. Their response for the ending never gives us the answer. Yeah, it's true. It doesn't. No, the happy ending is for Little Nightmares 4. I disagree! Abyss, for the first time, we disagree. Hey, wait a second, Mother's Day is in May. Oh, yeah. Not here. In the United Kingdom, it's tomorrow. It's on the second Sunday in March in the United Kingdom. So our Mother's Day is tomorrow, but for everybody else in the world, it's out in May. So any of my UK-based audience, any of you guys that are in the United Kingdom, yeah, happy Mother's Day for tomorrow. Anybody else, you can wait. Apparently. Let's say production started October 2021 after concept art, writing, etc. 2 months now, 2021. December pre-alpha is developed. The Necropolis video completed, 1 to 2 years. We get to 22. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a long time coming. And games like this, they don't really mess about. I don't feel like these guys would have really given us anything if they weren't certain. Because they know what we're like. Like, let's be honest, guys, and like admit this with me. We're a cult, aren't we? Like, the Little Nightmares fan base, we are a cult. We're an atrocious group of toxic people. And if they were to release something saying, by the way, you know, this game that you've all been looking forward to, surprise, you're getting it in 2024, I bet you're super excited. If they take that away from us, there will be outrage. They know this. They're aware of this. You guys are aware of this. Don't deny it. Because I know that tables will be flipped and language will be colourful. And there'll be a few people joining me in the hospital. But, yeah. I don't think it's going to get delayed. Especially not beyond 2024. It might be later in 2024. But as far as we're concerned, if it comes out on December 31st, 2024, they've still hit their target. They've still kept their word. So, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned at all. I feel like we're okay. I'm actually more concerned for the game developers at Supermassive and the people that they're laying off, because that's obviously terrible news for them. These people have worked really hard for a company that is now going to dismiss them, it seems. And Supermassive issued that very public apology to these people, and they're obviously trying to be very amicable and professional about it, as I've said before. But it's very, very sad for these people that have worked for the company, put a lot of work in, put of effort in, dedicated potentially their lives to a place, only to be laid off for financial reasons. And I've been there. Like, I've been in a situation before where a company literally could not afford to keep me on, regardless of my work ethic. So it sucks for them. My heart goes out to the employees of Supermassive Games that are going to lose their jobs at this stage. It's terrible. I'm hoping that after the success of Little Nightmares 3, which it will be, we'll make sure of it because we're a cult, I'm hoping that these people will be reinstated and hopefully reimbursed, or at least compensated in some way, because they deserve it. Where are we? I do think the game will be delayed to early 2025. Well, sorry, it's going too fast. Don't get me wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think if it was going to be released this year, we'd have already got more promotional stuff. I don't know. Like, if you think about it, look back to Little Nightmares 2 when it came out. It was very rare that we ever got anything. We were super ecstatic back then for the trailer, absolutely. But then there was nothing. It was just darkness. And then there was the TV commercial. Where there was a gentleman, I forget his name, and I should really know it by now. Bald gentleman in a suit, and he was talking about it. And he did the promotional video. That was really cool. But yeah. So I don't think we've got. I don't think we got too much to worry about. If anything, they could be using this as a means to keep us in the dark a little bit more, because they know that if they keep just drip feeding us very, very delicately. I mean, you could absolutely be right, because like I say, I don't know everything. And I could be wrong. So it might just be that they've had to push everything back and they're having to wait, and they're in, everyone at Supermassive are in panic stations because they know the Little Nightmares cult is coming for them, because they can't deliver on this promise. And that's why they haven't drip fed us anything, because they have nothing to drip feed us. But I also feel like with the backing of Bandai Namco, I think they're safe. I think they're okay. I'm not too worried. Now you have options. Yeah, 6. I mean, like, it'd be awesome. Like, it's cool that guys from my community, like some of you people, have met here in this chat room, like in this live chat, and you guys are gonna play Little Nightmares 3 together. That's really awesome. I feel like it's a community that I'm able to bring together and actually play a valuable role in. It's really, really cool. I'm so glad that I could actually be a part of that. It's so nice. And if any of you guys are YouTubers, it'd be really cool to see you guys playing together and getting along. And it's really nice. It's good to see positivity in the community, because like I say, we're toxic as hell. And most of what I see, most interactions in the community that I see are very negative. And just like people getting a little bit on each other's backs about stuff when they disagree. They start to treat Little Nightmares theories like politics, and it's just like, there's no politics, guys. It's a game. We're having fun. Just enjoy it. If the only enjoyment you get out of the game is ruining it for everybody else, then just don't play. Also, if you guys haven't hit the like button for me, please drop a little thumbs up, because it makes me feel a lot better. And it will also help get this video out to other people as well. So feel free to cast your votes on the poll that I've got above. Drop me a little like on the video so that I know that you guys are enjoying it. And who wants to know about a project I'm working on? As in, it'll probably be released tomorrow. Who wants some info? Do a name wheel. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Ghoul Games, you should do a stream getting hard to the core in the first one. I actually should. Actually, yeah, that could be fun. The reason I don't actually play the games anymore in these streams is because I like to... The idea of these streams is so that I can communicate with you guys, with my audience, and really get a feel of where you're at, answer some of your questions, learn of your concerns, hear your thoughts, theories, speculations, and share some of my own. Without you guys worrying about being ignored, essentially, in my comment section, because although I read all the comments, it's really hard to reply to them all. I don't have time. Like I've already whinged about earlier in the game, I've spent I've spent probably half an hour today complaining about the fact that I have very little free time to do anything. So the idea of these kind of streams is more to communicate with you guys. But yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome if you guys would like to see me get the hard to the core achievement. I will absolutely give it a shot because I've done it before. I know I can do it. It just means that while I'm doing it, I won't be able to talk to you guys. I won't be able to read chat because, as you know, I'll have to be concentrating. Sup, Clamori, you made it. Hello, hello. Casual hardcore. Oh my days. Look at that, casual hardcore gamers. This guy has the Hyper Gemini tag. Look at that. Long-term member. This guy has been a member of the channel and a VIP member of the Boom Squad for over a year. Chaos is my middle name and Gemini knows it. Oh, it's all for laughs. Wow. Wow. Supermassive is going to ruin Little Nightmares 3. You shut your damn mouth. Shut up. I've spent the best part of 45 minutes trying to convince people that they're not. I believe in this studio now. I do, and I genuinely do. I mean that. You know, it's common knowledge, and I'm not a fan of the Dark Anthology series. I just think they were like, while they had merit, the execution wasn't perfect. It was kind of cheesy and kind of jokey. For somebody like me who comes from a horror genre that's like OGs are Resident Evil and Silent Hill, like for me there's no comparison there. It's just like they're a different level altogether. So while I appreciate Supermassive's effort on a horror franchise with a narrative and spoken words behind it, I feel like the only thing I didn't like was the voice acting, the people. The games were great and the monsters were brilliant and the actual narrative, the storyline was good too, but the people just sucked. And I found all of the characters completely unlikable. The reason I'm not worried about Little Nightmares is because everything Supermassive did was fantastic apart from the voice acting. And Little Nightmares doesn't have that. So they can't possibly get this wrong, because the only thing I disliked about their old games or their existing like repertoire was the voice acting, which is a null factor with Little Nightmares because they don't talk outside of the occasional "Aye, aye." I think Little Nightmares 3 will come out in Halloween. That'd actually be awesome, Nevada, if it does. I think it'd be really cool. Electro Mang, what's up? How you doing? Holy pickles. I can't say what you actually said, but holy pickles, I've been chosen by the all-powerful wheel. Yeah, man. OP Gamer, we are a cult. One of us. One of us. We are totally a cult. We absolutely are. I'm not denying anything. I encourage you all to be honest. TJK, I'm a YouTuber. I will 100% record my Little Nightmares 3 gameplay, and I will 100% watch it. I remember Little Nightmares 2 announcements, there were barely anything, and then all of a sudden burst their bubble and gave us out too much. Yeah, exactly. It might be that they've learned from that. You know, maybe they knew there was going to be a delay. Like, maybe this is the delay, and they are in the midst of it. And they've, you know, this is part of the contingency. The reason we've had to wait so long is because they don't want to drop too much. Like, if they'd have dropped the trailer a month ago, maybe, then we'd be sitting there for the next, like, 6 or 7 months with absolutely nothing. But they've already revealed that something's coming, so then we'll panic. They probably don't want to panic us. But whatever the case, guys, I think we're going to find out before long. Hell yeah, I love chaos. I'm so sorry. This chat is going really quick, guys, and that's great. And don't stop. Just forgive me if you guys are talking and I'm not responding very quickly. I promise I'm trying. I have to scroll down with the chat, and I can't talk very fast because I'm still kind of poorly. So yeah, enough whinging anyway. Hell yeah, tell us. All right, I will. Hat Kid, a hat in time. Wait, what? Little Nightmares 3 is getting delayed? Just because if you have a look at Supermassive's latest tweet, is it called a tweet? Post, whatever. Supermassive have basically expressed that there are going to be some layoffs in their ranks, and obviously with them producing Little Nightmares 3, it's thrown whether or not we're getting the game this year into question. But I don't think we've got a lot to worry about, but you should absolutely read their post for yourself and come to your own conclusions, because I'm not the be-all and end-all, and I don't know. Give us information this instant, and that's another hat for your consumption. Stop feeding me hats. Like, I would sooner eat a human being than a hat. Don't quote me. Carnage. I want to get that achievement one day. Clamori, I've no doubt you will. I think you can do anything that you set your mind to, honestly. If that's what you want, you'll get it. Favourite holiday is Halloween? Yeah, mine too. Fair enough, you don't like the games. Yeah, that's it. It's fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It was actually Casual Hardcore Gamers that I watched play, because I didn't play the Supermassive's Dark Anthology series myself, but I watched Casual Hardcore Gamers play them, and RJ from over at CHG, he played the games, and it was just a laugh, you know. We enjoyed ourselves, we had a lot of fun playing, but at no point were we scared. There was no tension, there was no, like, real atmosphere. We were just sort of laughing the whole way through, because the voice acting is just so cheesy. Like, it wasn't even bad. It's like, these voice actors are obviously very talented people. I'm not trying to knock them by any stretch. They're all great. But I think maybe just that it came across, like, I don't know, it just came across really janky and awkward when it shouldn't have done. I feel like they were trying to sell the the high pressure situations and the fright factor and everything, and it just didn't work. I don't know why, but either way. Gotta go drop again later. Yeah, no worries. Jazz, it's great to see you. I'm really glad you were here. And yeah, please stop by, because we got a lot more to discuss. Me and my dad love Supermassive Games. I'm awesome. I'm awesome. That's awesome, and I'm really happy for you. That's really cool. A lot of people do like them, especially younger folks, because, like I say, I'm comparing Supermassive's games to Resident Evil, which is the OG horror game. Like, don't get me wrong, Resident Evil back in the day had the cheesiest voice acting. It was laughable, but I loved it, because to me it was the best thing I'd ever seen. Like, to you guys, these Supermassive games, the Dark Anthology series, might be the best you've ever seen. But I feel like if I was to compare the Dark Anthology series to the Resident Evil franchise, there's no comparison. They don't belong in the same field. And that's just my opinion. But again, if you guys were to play the old Resident Evil games, you would laugh as well, because it's like cheesy dialogue and it doesn't really match. And I can see that now, 20 years later. But as a kid, it was like mind-blowing to me. So yeah, you're entitled to like whatever you want for any reason. I'm not going to question it by any stretch. Everyone has their own reasons for liking what they like. Nobody should be told what they are and aren't allowed to enjoy. Clamori says, we gotta get a trailer this month. Like, they have to have something cooking up by now. They probably do. Gemini, what would you do if Huggy behind you came to life? I'd probably just give him a hug. Because he's very small and he's very cute, and I like him a lot. He's my little guy. I wouldn't mind if he came to life, because maybe then I wouldn't be so lonely. That's the way they're going to introduce talking. Bro, if they give the Little Nightmares characters actual dialogue, I'm going to be very upset. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll be pissed if it does. Why do you think 6 has the music box during the Signal Tower chapter, and why Mono has to destroy it? I have my own theory about that, but I'm curious as to what your thoughts are on it. Well, excuse me. I think it's what ties her to the Signal Tower. Okay. Let me put this to you, because it's sort of just come to my mind now. It's kind of hit me that I recently speculated that the Hunter might have kept 6 alive of his own accord. Like, he didn't kill her. He captured her, but he didn't kill her. And I think it's because the Hunter wants a family. Like, he wants either an heir or someone to care for or someone to love or whatever, you know. That's why he spent so long trying to build a family. That's why he purchased a gnome and keeps it in the attic. And, you know, that's why there's evidence of him actually owning a gnome as a pet. Because he has a heart, you know, he has something to give. That's why he captures children, but, you know, he often finds them dead in his traps. So when he gets a live one, he didn't immediately take her and skin her. He put her in a room where she's safe, alive, and give her a music box to entertain herself. And I feel like that the reason we've probably, if that's true, the reason the music box is there is because the music box represents 6's, like, Stockholm syndrome, which is where you learn to love your kidnapper, or you learn to you build a relationship with the environment that you become trapped in. Like for instance, there was a story I was told recently. I've forgotten the name. It was a lady called Anne. And I've forgotten her name, but the story was that she was trapped by her father in the attic, and she was stuck there for like 22 years, and she was stuck there the whole time. And when the police raided the house and found out the awful things he'd been doing, they went up to free her, and they said, come with us, you're free. And she's like, no, I don't want to go. Like, why? And she's like, because this is my world. The attic is all I know. Like, no, come outside. And she's like, no, I don't want to. I'm safe. I'm happy here. And she didn't want to leave. She was quite happy in the attic, and by the time they finally coaxed her down to go to the hospital, she insisted on taking some of her treasured belongings with her. And there weren't anything valuable, it was just things that brought her comfort while she was up there. Like stuffed animals and things like that. And it could be that Six is, because the signal tower is obviously, Six is the vessel for the signal tower's power at the time, and it manifests a few things that Six is familiar with. Like, like the toys that she's seen, and the things that she likes, and the colours that she likes, and the drawings that she's seen, and things like that, and the place she felt most secure. So it's like, you'll notice that room is very representative of the hunter's cabin when we first found Six. You go in, you break down the door, you walk in, and she's there with a music box. Well, that's just basically that come manifest, but in monster form. Like, it's the signal tower's warped interpretation of Six's happy place. And I feel like that's why Mono had to destroy it, and that's why the music box itself was the intrinsic link between Six's psyche and that. But I could be completely wrong, it's just entirely speculation. But it was fun to think about, thank you. I can't wait for Little Nightmares 3, already recorded the first 2 in DLC, made a timeline playlist, that'd be awesome. Imagine if it was a big April Fool's stunt, that would suck. Supermassive have done a supermassive job so far. Yes, they have, so far. One of us. Little Nightmares logo. I'm going to make an advert for that. There's like the eye, the all-seeing eye, just like pulsing. One of us. Be crazy after Little Nightmares 3's come out. It'll be a Little Nightmares movie. I hope there is a Little Nightmares movie. I really hope that's a thing. I want to go to Gamescom every year until I get surprised with Little Nightmares 4 announcement. That's the only reason I'd want to go. Like, I never get excited about games, but that one is, yeah. No, those actors were trash. Garbage. Oh, excuse me. I haven't seen any of Jord's videos for a while. Have you heard anything from him? Actually, no. Jord has been off radar for a little while, and I think it's because Jord is a very, very busy man. He's working on a lot of projects, as you guys know. He's got his own theories to come up with, but not just on Little Nightmares, but also he's working on Poppy Playtime theories, which take up a lot of their own time, and it's a lot more of a saturated market. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more room for Poppy Playtime theories because there's so much more content, and it comes out a lot more quickly than Little Nightmares does. Also, he's working on the glitched out game with Super Horror Bro Mike, which is coming out before long, and if you guys haven't got it in your wish list already on Steam, please do, because it'll be worth having. He's already got a whole bunch of them, which is great news. It just shows that people are super excited to see what he creates. But yeah. I don't panic and I don't get worried when Jord doesn't release a Little Nightmares theory for a while, because I understand how difficult they are to make, and I know that the content is few and far between, so we have to sort of, and a lot of the time, when you've been doing something as long as Jord has, there's very, very few areas that he hasn't already covered, at least in passing. So I can only imagine that I'm already running out. Like, the theory well is drying up for me. That's why this new concept that I've come up with that I'm going to be hopefully releasing tomorrow, all being well, that's why I've started working on that rather than like theory concepts. This is kind of a theory video, but it explores a different topic. But yeah, I do hope to see more work from Jord coming up, but I also know that the reason he's quiet is because he's working, he's busy. The dude is, he's not the kind of guy to just sit on his hands and like wait to see what happens. Jord is active. John, it'd be funny if you sing a Little Nightmares song live in your video. Please sing. I can't sing. I can't sing at all. I don't sing. I refuse to sing. And also, even if I try, my throat is in bits right now. I'm surprised I was able to talk for this long. I wouldn't even know which song to sing, so I'd probably just end up singing the Viewers song by Rocket Gaming, because I do that automatically. There's just the lyrics are like the screensaver to my brain. So like whenever I turn on the TV or open the window or something like that, I just I just sing along to that song. But I'm not gonna do that. Did you watch the last Theory Live of MatPat? Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I've watched a couple of MatPat's videos recently, and one of them's been, yeah, and that was the most recent one. Also, hi Sign-In, it's really good to see you. I didn't realise that you were quite new here, but hello. Minecraft World, do you think that viewers are actually watching something that Mono can't see? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. And I think that's actually further cemented in the song that I was talking about singing, because some of the lyrics say, if you only knew of the view. Like, that's why they chase you. They need you to see it. They need you to see it, otherwise you'll never understand. You'll never understand how the beauty of it. And the magnificence and the splendour and the radiance of what they can see is just, it's so much that they would, like, they will put their life on the line. Like, yeah, obviously you see the viewers walk off buildings to get close to a TV because it's just so enthralling, this view. I definitely think that they can see something that we can't. 100% I do. Tobias deserves some kind of award. The music he makes is incredible in these games. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Tobias is I always struggle to say his name because I've been calling him Tobias, and it wasn't until I listened to the Sounds of Nightmares again where they pronounced it Tobias. So yeah, if Tobias is actually watching, I'm really sorry that I've been mispronouncing your name. And yes, a magnificent creator, and I really, really think that he should be awarded. And I feel like he should be involved in more as well. I know that he's working alongside a different music artist that's going to be creating the OST for Little Nightmares 3, but I don't think they're going to be too far outside of his current genre. You know, the work that he does, because it's not just the Little Nightmares soundtrack that Tobias has done. He's done other stuff as well, which is all fantastic. But obviously, the one we're all familiar with is the Little Nightmares 1 and 2 OSTs. It'll be cute and alone after help a dog. Yeah, we don't see many animals, do we, outside of birds? I saw Little Nightmares movie post on Reddit. Some wanted a claymation style animation. That could be cool. I've never been a huge fan of claymation. I find it kind of scary. I don't know why. I think it's because of a dream I had when I was a kid. But I think these days they could make a really good claymation style one. And it would play kind of like Coraline. I know that's the obvious draw because, you know, the whole yellow raincoat and scary concept. But yeah, I feel like it could play really cool. I would love to see it in a Studio Ghibli style. If it was done like an anime, that would be my favourite. I'd love to see that. I think it'd be a lot harder, but I do feel like if they capture the aesthetic well enough, it'd be pretty cool. I'm not too sure about Little Nightmares movie. Sure, it'd be great, but there's no dialogue. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that no dialogue, but for a movie, I think... Yeah, now that does present us with some difficulty, because it means that a lot of it would be mimed, wouldn't it? And we'd have to, like, it'd be left up to interpretation. Maybe they would put some dialogue in. Like, it could be... Because in the comics, there's dialogue. So the comics, they have speech bubbles, and you can actually understand what the characters are saying, and they do communicate with each other. Oh, Six has got to go. See you later, Six. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate you. Yeah, so for live action, they might put dialogue in, because it is known that these characters can communicate. I know that the comics are sort of essentially non-canon now, but these characters obviously communicate in their own way, in their own language, by their own means. And for our like limited capacity, it might be worth them putting some actual dialogue in. It might be a concept that they're playing with at the moment, but I'm not sure. Goal Game says Jord is pretty active on Twitter the most. Yeah, I think he is as well. Like, whenever... I very rarely go on Twitter, or X, or whatever it is we're calling it now. Excuse me. But yeah, I do find that Jord tends to pop up on there every now and again and make his presence known. And that's cool. You know, that's awesome. It's not a platform that I really use very much, but in fact, I only follow about 3 people on there, and Jord is one of them. And one of the main reasons I go on X or Twitter or whatever we're calling it is because Jord is there, and I want to see what he has to say. But otherwise, I don't really bother. Interesting theory on the music box. Can you tell me what you think of mine? Yeah, absolutely. Where is it? Did I miss yours? Alex Frog, Alex Frog, Alex Frog, Alex Frog. I can't find it, my brother. If Alex the Frog, if you rewrite your theory on the music box, I'll happily read it for you, my guy. But if you've already written it, I can't find it. It might be because the YouTube algorithm has decided to moderate your comment for some reason. I've no idea why that might have been the case, but yeah, please feel free to write it out, and I will happily read it for you and let you know what I think. Not Sticks. I'm not sure about that because it would be silent food. Yeah. There'd have to be constant sounds. I suppose there would. I mean, don't get me wrong. It depends on the length of the movie. If the movie is like feature length, then yeah, they could do like episodic releases. You know, like maybe a 6-part series like The Sounds of Nightmares, but instead of being a podcast, it would be a visual narrative. So the episodes might only be like 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, and they're able to tell the story through the characters' actions, and then obviously the sound effects that we're all familiar with, and the voice acting talents of those involved from the Little Nightmares games could be repeated in that. Oh yeah, the big news for tomorrow. It's not really big news, Fipsy, my brother. It's just kind of it's kind of a little thing that I've been working on, and I will share it. Actually, yeah, I'll share it with you now. So it's a common belief that Little Nightmares 2 was taking so long to release a DLC because, well, not release anything because when we got the enhanced edition, people thought, oh well, this is really exciting. We're getting a DLC. And I myself got really hyped for it because I was like, oh, it could be a thing, And a lot of people, other theorists online, just Jord being one of them, in fact, was that, people were starting to theorize about what these DLCs could entail and what they could be. Well, I have done exactly that, but I've taken it a step further. Basically, I've written out an entire script of what I believe a Little Nightmares 2 DLC would consist of. As in level design, characters, plot points, enemies, and it all ties into the comics, the games, things that we're already familiar with. And I animated it to a degree. I use the word animate very rudimentarily because it was my first time ever animating anything full stop, and it was really hard, and I only give myself like 24 hours to do it because I have some bigger projects that I'm working on outside of the channel for work and things like that, and obviously appointments that I would like to keep, and there's work that I'm doing for other people outside of my channel that have to take priority, but I also didn't want to leave you guys without any content now that I'm back, now that I'm actually able to create it. So I knuckled down and I got it done to the best of my ability in a short period of time. So please forgive the rudimentary animation and my lack of presentation because I'm still not 100% when I was reading my script and things like that. But I think it's cool. And I think it's got a lot of merit, and I feel like if I was to present it to the Little Nightmares creators, like if I went to Tarsier the day after Little Nightmares 2 released and pitched this idea to them, and got together with their animation team and designed the level design and everything like that, exactly the way I've got it planned out, I feel like it'd work really well and tie in perfectly, and it kind of works as a double-edged sword because it also theorizes how things happen, so when we arrive places as Mono and Six, it's like, well, how did that get there? How did that happen? How did that happen? Now we'll know because I'm going to explain it. At least some of it. You guys, I've no doubt that people in the comment section will pull it apart when they get hold of it, but I just think it's an exciting concept. It's something that I've really wanted to play with for a while, but never had the means to do so. And truth is, the video that's coming out tomorrow, it's not designed the way I would have really liked. The way I would have really liked to do it is to have written the script, read the script myself, done the sound design and everything like that, planned it out, and then had somebody like Harry 101 edit it for me. But I could, not only is he not doing commissions at the moment, but I couldn't afford him if he was. So it would be really cool But and again, maybe a project for the future. If I've got a lot of time and money to invest in something, maybe it's something that we could follow up. And then who knows? I might even get to know some games designers like Jord and Super Horror Bro Mike, and maybe we can actually make it a thing, like a fan made Little Nightmares 2 DLC. If they like my script, and in fact, if you guys like my script, yeah. Speaking of likes, drop me a thumbs up if you think that's a good idea. If you haven't already, of course. Anyway, sorry, I've been ignoring you guys again, but. That's my little idea. That song is fan made. If you only knew of it, yeah, I know. Yeah, if you only knew of the view. I can't sing, and my throat hurts so much. But yes, I absolutely love that song. I like a lot of Rocket Gaming songs. I like Dan Bull and the Stupendium's Little Nightmares songs. Dive into the Madness and Tune into the Madness. They are absolutely excellent. And I like JT Music's Hungry for Another One, and Nightmares Never End. They're just awesome. And funnily enough, Harry 101 was the animator for I think it was JT Music. No. He either did JT Music's or Dan Bull and Stupendium's Dive into the Madness. But Harry 101 is a fantastic animator, and I'd really like for him to do some work for me, but I definitely can't afford him. Theory, the reason 6 ate the gnome or Arcade is because she was in the kitchen and she saw the children as sausages, but she didn't know that the children were gnomes, so she ate it. Oh, I see. So she was trying to avoid eating children, so she thought, right, so he offered her a sausage, and she's like, I'm not eating that, it's made of children, I'm going to eat you. That's actually fair, Paper Bag Entertainment. That's fair. I'm not sure, it's possible. Because I suppose by the time she gets to the kitchen, she would be aware of the fact that the kids are being made into food. So maybe she doesn't want to eat them. But saying that though, if she had a big problem with well, I don't know. Because I was just about to say if she had such a big problem eating people, she wouldn't have eaten the lady. But it might not be that she wants to. She's not got a problem with eating people. She's got a problem with eating children. So you could be right. Yeah, interesting one. Fun to think about, actually. Yeah, that's cool. What if the guy behind the nowhere is Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls? Dun dun dun. I never feel ignored while viewing your streams. Best YouTuber ever. Oh, Appleman, thank you so much. That's really kind of you to say. I don't think I'm the best YouTuber ever by any stretch, but I do try. I really do try for you guys. Pretty much confirmed, actually. Is it? Alex the Frog, I didn't know that. I mean, it could very well be. It could be, for all I know. Again, I'm not the best in the world. I take it quite seriously, though. Little Nightmares as a movie wouldn't be a great idea for some reason. I mean, it would feel off. Do you think so? I really like the idea of it being a movie. I don't know if it's just because I'm so starving for content that I feel like anything would be a good idea. But yeah, I tell you, the only thing that I think makes a Little Nightmares movie a bad idea is the fact that what we as a community tend to gravitate towards with the Little Nightmares games is the fact that the characters don't have a particular language or necessarily a personality of their own because, they don't talk and you're in full control of their actions. So what we tend to do as a community is we tend to... what's the word? We reflect our own personalities through these characters. So it feels like we are these characters. We get to act them out. We get to create their and interpret their personalities using our own experiences. So how we would react to something. And if they were to create a character, if they were to create a movie and then give us a character, then it would be up to the developers and the producers and the directors of that movie to create this personality for these characters. And it might not line up perfectly with the personality that we as an individual have created for these characters, because we all view them the same way. Like, there's a number of you guys, and I'm sure there'll be some disagreements in the comments where it's like, some people absolutely love Six, and they think she's amazing, they think she did out wrong, they think that, she was sane and had a valid reason for doing what she did. Others think that Six is a monster, and she's overtly evil and is corrupted and always has been. Some people think Mono's a hero. Some people think that he's a bit of a simp. You know, there's a number of opportunities for people to express their opinion and reflect their own personalities through these characters that don't have their own particular narrative. They don't have a voice necessarily. They don't speak. They don't talk. They don't make their own decisions. But in the movie, they will. Or at least they'll make decisions and they'll speak based on the opinions of the person who wrote the character. And I think that's the only negative that could come of it. Like, I've watched some extremely talented Little Nightmares animators. Some that you guys will already be familiar with, actually, because some of you guys that watch their channels also watch mine, and I know that because my analytics told me. So I went over to see what you guys are watching, and I saw some of these animations, or fanimations as they're known, and they tell stories that we're not familiar with, you know, the stories untold kind of thing, but they animate it in their own style. But they still don't give Mono and Six voices. You know, they just use the sound effects from the game design and let you make your own interpretation, and that's why these particular animations are wildly successful, and I think they're really enjoyable. And you guys should check them out, but I'm sure most of you have seen them already. I feel like it would be a really good idea. I just feel like if we were to do a feature-length movie, it would be really difficult to get across the concept of these characters having their own personalities. But yeah, maybe like shorter episodic releases could be the way forward with it. You know, even if it was just like 5 or 6 episodes or something like that to get us started. Maybe explore some of the characters that we didn't get to see. Gemini, you look like that one singer. The kind of music you can sing a song. Can you sing a song? I'm not singing a song, Nivat. I'm not going to sing. I can't sing. I don't like singing. What was your scary claymation dream? Minecraft, bro. It was actually about Wallace and Gromit, and you know the were-rabbit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. It was that. In my dream, I couldn't leave my house. There was like I couldn't go downstairs. Sorry, I couldn't go downstairs to get out of the house because the were-rabbit was wandering around at the bottom of the stairs, and I knew it was there, and it kept just popping its head out of the door whenever I saw. But it was moving in that awkward claymation style, like early 90s or early 2000s claymation style, and it was just really like uncanny and disturbed and off-putting, and it freaked me out. I didn't like it. Even now, like I went on a ride at Blackpool Pleasure Beach years ago and had a Wallace and Gromit ride, and right at the end of it they had this friggin' were-rabbit, and I freaked out. Oh my god, no! It was huge. It was like 18 feet tall and like 20 foot wide. Its mouth was bigger than my entire body, and it really was, oh no, so horrible. Yeah, that freaked me out. I didn't like that. So thanks for rekindling my trauma. Appreciate that. Really kind of you, Minecraft, bro. Anime Little Nightmares 2 will be epic. I think so too. Fipsy says, Go Games. I do think that would ruin the atmosphere, though. With no dialogue, it would be too quiet, but with dialogue, I feel like it ruined that. Yeah, see, this is the thing, and that's why I find it's a delicate balance, and that's probably why we don't have a Little Nightmares TV show, Little Nightmares movie, Little Nightmares animation, or anything like that. I think it's because you would upset 50% of your audience by creating it, because no matter what decision you make, you'll upset someone, because whatever you create will not fit exactly with somebody's own headcanon. And like I say, we're a cult. We're kind of a toxic community, and a lot of people will just go out of their way to wail on the creators, the publishers and the directors of this movie or this TV series, if in fact it does come to be. Much the same way as I'm releasing this video tomorrow that is true to my headcanon. I think it's a great idea. I think it ties in really well, and I really like it, and I'm really proud of the concept. Well, some of you guys might hate it. You know, you might go in and be like, whoa, no, I don't think that's what happened. I think you're wrong. You couldn't possibly be right because that doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. This character would never do that. Or whatever, you know. I'm sure some of you guys might enjoy it, but some of you might hate it. And that's just one of the difficulties that comes with creating something. But the thing is, I can create something and all I have to invest is my time. But if I wanted to make a TV show or a movie, I have to run the risk of upsetting potentially millions of people and getting a whole lot of media backlash from the 50% of the audience that my narrative doesn't align with. and the people that I have managed to upset by creating it. But I also have monetary value to lose. I also have a reputation as a director, publisher, or whatever I might be, an artistic director, or whatever. You run the risk of upsetting people. And if you do, you run the risk of losing money because you have to invest in voice actors and animators and musicians and directors and everything and publishers and everything that comes with creating a series. So you stand to lose potentially millions of pounds and your reputation based on the opinions of 50% of an audience that, may or may not agree with you. Because if you're messing with something that's already really well established, it's like remaking an old game. I'll go back to Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 was the first genuine horror game that I ever played that really had like a story, structure, narrative, and was kind of considered a big budget horror game. And it was fantastic. And everybody loved it back then because it was like the first of its kind. It was like one of the OG horror games back in the retro days, showing my age. But back in 2019, they remade it. They remade Resident Evil 2. And there was it paid a lot of homage to the original, and it was fantastic, and they did a fantastic job. They hit it really, really well, and they did really, really good. But there were members of the community that absolutely hated it, and they dogged on it all over the internet. Like, it's soulless, it's an obvious cash grab, it's disgusting, it's crap. They're just like, I'm not even going to buy it. Rubbish. Because you can't please everyone. Fortunately, the Resident Evil franchise kind of has money to blow, because they've been doing this for a long time. Little Nightmares, not so much. Where are we? Sorry. In episode 3 of the Little Nightmares podcast, Otto says that the patients are not supposed to have mirrors. Given the concept of Little Nightmares 3, what do you think that could mean? I actually heard him say that when I was listening to it the day before yesterday, and it sort of clicked with me then because I'd never really picked up on that before. And I was like, why? And then he immediately admonishes her as well. He's like, he questions why she's got the mirror. Now, I'm not really sure. Because Noon is trying to use the mirror to see behind her ear because she's like been scratching because she feels like she's got like a parasite or something. She's like, but I can't see it because obviously you can't look behind your ears. Or at least I can't. But if she had the mirror, maybe she'd be able to see. And he goes in and he takes it off her. He's like, you patients aren't supposed to have mirrors. But he let her use it in the room before he ended up upsetting her and she stormed out with it. But it's really tough to say why Otto would feel that way, given that at this point the mirrors aren't really a concept. I don't know if because it's never really explored again from there, is it? I don't know if that was just a nod to get us all thinking, but it's interesting to think. Why wouldn't they be allowed a mirror? What could they see? What's Otto worried about them seeing? Like from a therapy standpoint, if you're a therapist in an office and you have somebody who has so Noon has body dysmorphia. She's convinced that things are happening to her that aren't. And body dysmorphia is a very real mental illness. It's a real thing. A lot of people have it. There's people at my gym that have it. There's people that are really skinny at my gym that are convinced they're huge, and vice versa. I know people that are hyper jacked. Some of the most incredible physiques I've ever seen in my life, and they're like, oh no, I'm just too fat, I've got too much body fat, I'm too heavy. And I'm like, bro, you look like a Greek god, what more do you want? They're like, no, I've got to trim this body fat. It's body dysmorphia. Well, Noon has the same kind of thing, but she's convinced that she has parasites living in her head, and they're under her skin and she can feel them. And by presenting somebody who has body dysmorphia with a mirror, that can be very triggering and very upsetting. And it could just be that, like, it has nothing to do with the nowhere in this. Obviously, it's a nod to the nowhere, and that's why they've mentioned it, given the whole concept of Little Nightmares 3. But I think from a therapeutic standpoint, from a medical standpoint, they wouldn't present somebody who's suffering with body dysmorphia with a mirror, just because it could very well be upsetting for that person. But that's just my take. I don't know. Because it wasn't mentioned again, I have no way to draw any parallels between Little Nightmares, the world of the nowhere, and the counties, and Otto's reasoning for denying her access to the mirror. But very cool thing to think about, though. I saw some videos of fan-made animations in the anime style. Yeah, me too, and they are excellent. Absolutely excellent. Nate X Productions, Chapter 3. Whoops. 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 Paper Bag and a Have you watched Little Nightmares 2 musical by Random Encounters? It's really good. I think I did quite recently, because Random Encounters sounds familiar. Oh, did I? I think I did. Jack, who's your favourite monster? The teacher, Jack. And I'm sorry it took so long for me to get your question, but yeah, the teacher is my favourite monster. She's just... Ugh. She's horrible. She's horrible, isn't she? Like, I mean, she's a great character. Like, she's the best villain in my opinion. I think she's great. And a lot of people disagree with me on that, but I just think the teacher does so... Because the teacher, again... one of the beautiful things about Little Nightmares, and the reason we gravitate towards it so much, is because we project our own images into it. And we live the lives of these characters through our own eyes. That's why we give them personalities that align with our own. So for me, school was an awful time. It was terrible. I have very, very bad memories of school. And I have very, very bad memories of teachers. So when I see this horrific concept of the teacher come crippling out of the doorway and chasing you and beating on students and like torturing people and things like that, that brings a lot back for me. And I'm able to relate to that very, very well. So that, to me, the teacher is a nightmare brought to life. And that is a successful Little Nightmares bad guy, because that's the whole idea. The Little Nightmares concept, the original IP, the reason they changed it from hunger is because the Little Nightmares just made more sense, because it's about reliving your childhood fears. One of my biggest ones was school and teachers. That's why the school and the teacher are my favourite area and favourite bad guy in the series, because I relate to it more than any other. Other people disagree with me, and they're perfectly fine to do that, because some people think the teacher is out of place. She's a bit silly, and it's like, why would anyone be afraid of a teacher? Obviously, you had a great time at school. I didn't. I come from a school where they used to lock you in cupboards, and if they didn't, they would hit you with sticks. It's all very relative, I think. But yeah, sorry, Jack. I went on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, teacher's my favourite bad guy. I like them all. I think they all have merit, and I don't think any of them are out of place, but the teacher is the best, in my opinion. Gemini, look like Ed Sheeran. Thank you! I'm going to take that as a compliment, because Ed Sheeran is exceedingly talented. He is Ed Sheeran. I'm not. I don't wish I was either, but I do wish I had some of his talents, because he's an incredible musician. Fantastic artist. Appleman, I can already imagine a trailer for Little Nightmares Ghibli movie, lots of spooky giant scenery with that one song in the back. Yeah, exactly. It would hit so hard. And the thing is with Studio Ghibli is they already released Spirited Away a long time ago. And funnily enough, Otto references that too. When The Night When Noon Disappears, I think that's also episode 3. Or it could be 4. But Otto mentions it to Noon. It's like, where did you go when you were spirited away? And the movie is called Spirited Away by Studio Ghibli. And Little Nightmares and Tarsier took a lot of inspiration from the movie Spirited Away. And I drew similarities to it in my first ever Little Nightmares theory video. I think the video is literally just called She's Back. But if you watch that video, there is a point in it where I draw similarities between Studio Ghibli's animation of Spirited Away and the Little Nightmares franchise. And there's so many. I just literally overlay them all on top of one another. It's brilliant. Excellent. Really, really well done. Can I mention the ending of Little Nightmares 2? I don't know if I can spoil it. Yeah, random channel, by all means you can. So, basically, the fact that we're theorising about Little Nightmares 2 means that, like, the game... this stream in itself is... It just defaults to a spoiler warning. Like, by clicking on this video, you're about to be spoiled. Because the idea is we're considering... things that might be true, things that might not be true, just everything, every concept, and that revolves around the ending as well. So, of course, random channel, feel free to discuss the end of the game by all means. Anybody that does not want to be spoiled, anyone that hasn't played the game and doesn't want to be spoiled, feel free to head out, play the game, and then drop on back in at another time. But yeah, the majority of these guys have played the game or don't mind being spoiled. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Jeez, grommet. Oh, Alex. I didn't realise. Okay, right. Sorry, these. Alex, I'm gonna try and keep up with your theory, my brother, because I do want to read it and I don't want to seem ignorant. But it's gonna come in 6 parts, and they're all like 84 comments apart. And it's not your fault. I understand. I will try and read them as I promised. But if I can't keep up, I am really sorry. It'd be cool if you and you and It's Just Jord have a music brand. I don't know if either of us have any musical talent. I mean, to be fair, I feel like Jord is the kind of guy that would. Jord strikes me as the kind of guy that can play a musical instrument. I can. I can play a little bit of piano, and I mean a little bit. And as in, I can only play 2 songs. One of them being Beethoven's Fair Release, and the other being Togetherness, like Little Nightmares 6's theme. I literally learned to play that. That was why I bought a piano, so I could play that. I predict April 26th is a release date. Could be. I hope so. What if they're already plotting a DLC for Little Nightmares 3? I hope they are. I hope they are. I think the comments didn't go through the first time. Anyway, here it is again. It's kind of my take on a popular theory because I feel like the original had some overlooked details. Couldn't agree more. Looking forward to hearing about it. If there was a Little Nightmares movie, then would it be on the Mall or the Pale City or somewhere else? It depends on where they want to store it, like where they want to start. If I was making it myself, I would start it in the Pale City with the Little Nightmares 2 storyline, because I feel like that will captivate the most people, because obviously people will, because number one is it comes before. You know, in the like chronologically, it's like the first episode, or at least it's the first time where we get to experience more characters rather than just 6 and then the arbitrary people in the background. And we get to explore the concept of having more characters. If it's going to be a feature-length movie, I feel like it'd be important to have more characters that we could relate to. Especially having like a male and a female lead would be really empowering to the community as a whole, rather than starting with Little Nightmares 2 and just having 6 as the heroine, but having no interaction with any other person other than killing enemies. So I feel like if they did, it would probably start in the Pale City and follow Mono and 6's story. Or maybe not the Pale City specifically, but like the wilderness or whatever. Maybe start in the Hunter's Cabin, I don't know. But it could be cool either way. TJK, I'm a YouTube crass, what did I miss? You didn't miss anything, it's just me reading comments and chatting away. But once this stream is over, it'll be published anyway, so you guys can go back and read go back and rewatch any parts that you might have missed. Paper Bag Entertainment, check that out, yes you should. Have the children's personality. 6 is the quiet kid, kind of dark kid. Mono is the average child with trauma. And RK is the kind kid. Raincoat Girl is a normal kid. Yeah, that's fair enough, and that's a lot of people's perception. But other people think differently, and they're perfectly entitled to do that. That's awesome. FipsyB2, well Gemini, it was fun discussing theories with you and everyone in chat. Now it's time for me to set on my own stream and get ready. I hope you get well soon. I'm also excited for the script. Bye. That's absolutely fine, FipsyB2. And guys, just while I've got you here, FipsyB2 is also a Little Nightmares theorist like myself. He's up and coming and he's very, very good. And he's a brilliant guy as well. So when you guys are finished with this stream, which I'm going to wrap up before long, probably another half hour or so, but 50B2 is going to be streaming in about an hour. So I feel like if you guys enjoy what I do, you'll probably enjoy his stuff as well. And if you wouldn't mind, drop over to his channel, get yourself subscribed, smash him a like, and have a little conversation with him, because I think you'll be intrigued by some of his perceptions of the nowhere. Please feel free to drop over and do that. He has my recommendation. He has my seal of approval. The all-seeing eye. Corey, YouTuber, and It's Just Jordan, Little Nightmares movie. What I like is you and It's Just Jordan, Corey. Yeah, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. I don't feel like I bring much to the table by comparison, though. Like, obviously, Corey and It's Just Jordan considerably bigger and more well accomplished than I am. But it would be an honour to work with them in any capacity. Alex Frog, Part 2. Thanks to some hints left by the official Twitter account, I and some fans came to the conclusion that after 6 was kidnapped, The I entity used the signal tower's influence to force her mind into a state of escapism like the viewers. The music box itself might not have been that important to Six, given that she abandoned it just as quickly as she found it in the hunter's cabin, but the song it makes is. The song is what kept Six calm and distracted her from her situation back at the cabin. The song was her form of escapism, and the I is using a bit more. Sorry. That's why Mono had to break the music box not at Six. He needs to stop the song from playing in order to get Six out of the delusion. The problem is that every time Mono hits the music box with his axe, Six herself feels the pain of each attack, and because her skewed perspective of what is happening thanks to the tower, she believes that Nowhere is actually trying to hurt her instead. Fair enough. Sorry that took so long to get to, but yes, absolutely, that's totally plausible. It might not be the music box necessarily. It could very well just be the music that's implied to be, because Six's theme existed before the music box did. It was already a thing, wasn't it? It's I'm not sure if that was the first place she ever heard it, but it's not the only place it plays. It could well be that song is intrinsically linked to the Nowhere, because not only does the Hunter's music box play it, but so does the one on the Maw. So, something to think about. Definitely got merit there. That's actually worth exploring. Thank you, Alex the Frog. I appreciate that. I'm sorry it took me so long to read. But yeah, definitely a cool concept there. It could very well be that the song is what's important rather than the music box itself. And I do definitely think you're right about Six feeling the pain of the music box being struck, because it's linked to her, isn't it? Like the whole tower, the flesh monster, everything warps and distorts whenever she feels pain. And if, like when Mono shouts, and she sort of she flinches and cringes when she hears his voice, doesn't she? She sort of recoils a little bit before going berserk and trying to slam you. So when he strikes the music box, it knocks it to the ground. So you're absolutely right. She definitely feels it on some level, even if it is only a subconscious, episode of Placebo. I can play Mono in the Little Nightmares movie. I pretty much have his personality. That's fair. And you have his paper bag too. I don't know, movies in cinemas nowadays going badly. Yeah, Hat Kid, I agree. There is a lot of negativity in cinema at the moment. Media is just a lot of misrepresentation going on, and it's just a lot of it is down to poor execution and very money-driven rather than anything. It's just trying to pertain to certain groups and things like that, and it's just failing miserably. There's a lot of it that I won't get into here, because again the channel isn't about anything political, but the stance that the media industry takes on movies and the way they make money and what they promote and what they choose to produce is all money driven. And again, if I go down that route, we'll end up with a political conversation that I both don't want to do and will absolutely compromise the monetization of my channel. So forgive me if I don't get into that, but I agree with you. You're absolutely right. I used to be terrified of the were-rabbit. You're not alone, Abyss. You are not alone. A lot of people were. Julian, have you already seen the new Mono and Six figure up for pre-order in the Bandai? Yes, I have. And funnily enough, I bought two. That sounded really weird, but I bought one for myself. Well, I pre-ordered one for myself because it won't arrive until July. That's when they come out, and I've got a feeling that's similar to around the area where the game will come out. That's why I believe that it's going to be a summer release, or at least a late summer release. But yeah, so I'm going to get my own. And I bought another one that I'm giving away because I did a live stream for Valentine's Day. And as a Valentine's Day gift to you guys, I bought an extra one to give away. And I did a prize draw, and one of you guys won it. Who was it? Was it Frigi Monster won it. And we had a discussion, and I'm sending it to their address as soon as it arrives. But yes, I have heard of it, and it looks incredible, and I can't wait to get it. I cannot wait. It's going to go on a shelf back there in pride of place on my wall, right here by my light switch. It looks a little bit like Mono's face. Vault 96. Not familiar with that. It will be cool if Little Nightmares 3 is an Ender dog. Or you really want that to be a dog. That's fine. I would like that to be an animal of some description. Boom Bam Studios. I'm sad I couldn't make it in the last stream. Hey, it's totally cool. there will be more moving forward, and I like doing giveaways. They're fun. I feel like they bring the community together and they give you guys something to be excited about, and it gives me a reason to do good. You know, I get to give something back to you guys, and that's nice and it's pleasurable, and I like to do more of it. But again, I'm limited by money because I'm not loaded, you know, and this thing cost £180, and I had to buy two of them, and that's a lot of money to me. You know, for people like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, he'd buy like 100 of them and give them all away because, like, totally cool, no problem. But for someone like me, it's like I have to work like an extra like 60 hours a week to afford that thing. So I had to pull in a lot of extra hours and a lot of works, you know, to earn an item that I have every intention of just giving away. But I would like to do more, and as the channel grows and as it generates more income and as like more people join and have you know, as the membership group expands a little bit more and I start earning a little bit more money through it, the bigger the membership group gets, the more of these giveaways I will do. I actually do members only giveaways more frequently than I do regular giveaways. I only ever do giveaways for like Valentine's or Christmas or, you know, special events like that, Halloween. But the membership ones are a lot more frequent. They're like every like 3 months or something. I'll do like a reasonably big giveaway. I thought about doing one a while ago actually, where I was giving away a PS5. But again, it's affording it, and I don't want to give you guys false hope. It will be coming, and I will be doing more giveaways. I will be giving more back to the community, and I'm very excited to do it. But obviously, that comes with a cost that I can't currently afford, so I don't want to promise you guys anything until it's ready. But when you see the advert for it, it will be a thing. So ring the notification bell because you don't want to miss it, because I will absolutely be doing more of them. Absolutely. Also, smash that like button for me if you haven't already. Some of you guys that are just tuning in or haven't quite got here yet, drop a like on this if you're interested in seeing me do more of that kind of thing. And also let me know if you would like to see me do more giveaways and another, like, more interactive live streams like this one moving forward. Yes, I know, I'm a funny girl. Yes, you're a funny girl, Nevada. Sorry, I keep losing my place. I'm also aware that I keep like leaning off camera, but it's because my text is really small and my monitor's enormous. So I'm trying to like lean in and see it without like leaning off camera like this. I feel a bit stupid. I feel like, oh wait, hey, I'm just jumping in. What are we talking about? Karina Blick, really nice to see you, and I'm really sorry that it took me so long to read your comment, but hello. And we're just talking about Little Nightmares theories. Basically, any game, any theory, like any concept that you're familiar with, just throw it out there. I'm trying to read as many comments as I can. Obviously, there's quite a lot of you guys interacting, which is lovely. I'm really happy about it. I'm really grateful for it. But please forgive me if I take a long time to get to your comment or if I miss it entirely. I'm not trying to be ignorant. The whole idea of this stream is to interact with you guys and engage. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. Generally speaking, I'd be playing a game. I'd be playing Little Nightmares or Little Nightmares 2 or Very Little Nightmares, but because the chat is so active, it's impossible to read comments and play the game. So I've chose to engage with you guys rather than play the game. Because you've all seen me play the game dozens of times by now. It's all up on my channel. And if that's what you want to see, just scroll down. It'll be there. But feel free to drop your 2 cents in, because I will be reading as many comments as I can over the next half hour or so. Abyss says, I feel like the clocks are going to be an important symbol in Little Nightmares. They're all around in the lair. A few tracks in both games have clocks in them, and there's even a clock-based song in Little Nightmares 3 OST we have. Yeah, I agree, Abyss. And also, in the Sounds of Nightmares, the stone giant has a big clock on it. If you listen carefully, the cogs and wheels and everything, they're all part of a huge mechanism, and when Noon eventually makes her way to the bottom of it and looks up, she can see a clock face. So it's like a massive bell tower kind of thing, which I think is really interesting. And yeah, I've noticed the ticking as well. And also clocks seem quite prevalent in a lot of areas, like on the front of the school, there's a big clock. Inside the school, there is a big clock. On the moor, there is an entire room dedicated to clocks. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Clocks have some significance in the world of Little Nightmares. And I don't know if it's because time doesn't work the same as it does out here. So time is not linear in the nowhere. Or it might be, it might not be. We don't know. We obviously know that there's some, like, screwy, wooey, timey-wimey, mixed-up bull that goes on in the nowhere's timelines. But we don't know anything for certain. But the clocks could absolutely be giving us some hints towards that. This could be why she dropped Mono. It could, Alex. It absolutely could. She wasn't aware of what her situation actually was thanks to the tower, nor did she have time to find out after the illusion broke off because everything started to collapse. Yeah, she had to get out of there because it was literally falling apart. Oh, shoot, I've just accidentally skipped about 20 comments. Sorry, yeah. I try and scroll down, but YouTube assumes that I've read everything and it just goes, boop, it drops all the rest of them. Sorry about that. It's probably still under the impression that Mono suddenly turned against her and wanted to harm her. She decided to drop him as a last-minute decision. Could very well be. I agree. It could be. Or it could not be, but we don't know. We don't know for certain, but that's a very, very good theory, and I'm glad that you took the time to write it out to me and let me read it. Appreciate that. Thank you, Alex. Appleman, how to escape IRL apocalypse. 1. Be a child. 2. Get a tumour. 3. Start dreaming. 4. Welcome to nowhere. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's not a bad analysis, to be fair. You just got to hope that the ferryman is listening like Father Christmas and he's always watching. Always watching. You missed the doctor who tries to follow you into the nowhere. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Also the counsellor, he certainly did. I wonder if he succeeded. Hopefully Little Nightmares 3 will let us know. Clamari says, remember when I talked about that monster I spotted in a Little Nightmares 3 poster in your last stream? I think I found an obscure clearer at this monster that shows its entire face clearly in some of the body. Show me. Explain yourself. Please explain in full detail. I am intrigued, Clamori. I would absolutely love that because I've been looking for some clarity by messing with the saturation and the brightness on the cover art and things like that to try and see what other people can see. And I've got a couple of concepts of my own sort of rolling around in my brain, but until I get some confirmation, I don't want to go spouting nonsense. Obviously, as you guys know, I like to present you with evidence and stories with substance before I go making any claims. I'm open to everyone's interpretation, and I will never ever crap on somebody else's theory because I think it's wrong, because I don't know. You know, for all I know, somebody could come up with a theory and say, by the way, do you know that the actual mirror monster isn't a mirror monster, it's just a big leech and the whole thing's a red herring? I don't know that's not true. And until I can prove with any amount of significance that it is true, or it is not true, then I won't deny it. Because you can't, you just don't know. I can say that I don't believe it, you know, in my head it doesn't make a lot of sense because of X, Y, and Z. But, but we don't know, so everybody's up to think of that. Gemini, it would be funny if you have a pet bird on your head in a live video and a bird. You know, I've got a bird, but it's a seagull. It comes here every day and I feed it every day. He's called Cedric. He's an idiot. He knocks on my window. It's one of the main reasons I don't record these videos during the day, because when the sun goes down, he disappears. But during the day, he'll come and he'll tap on my office window and let me know that he wants feeding. And he'll do that 2 or 3 times a day. And he's got a nest on the roof. But he will not let me touch him. He never has. I've had him for about 3 years, and he will not let me touch him at all. He's been in the house before, but he just gets really upset. You know, because he tries to fly, he crashes into walls, he freaks out, he makes a lot of noise, and he poos everywhere. But yeah, I imagine if I put him on my head, he'd just make a mess and probably try and peck out my eyes. Plasmatic. I legit had a teacher in middle school that looks like a Little Nightmares 2 teacher. Yes, so did I. She was called Mrs. Gravestock. And I have since looked for images of this woman because she's a spitting double of the teacher. The only difference I can think of is that Mrs. Gravestock wore glasses. And she was terrifying. Like, she wasn't a very nice person from what I remember. But she was really scary. And she is what I think of when I see the teacher. Because she was, you know, that kind of like really strict, you know, like now that I'm thinking back on it, she was probably about 4 foot high, but I was 3 years old. So, you know, she looked like this enormous, like, scary, stone-faced old woman with the teacher's hairstyle, with the old school, like, 90s era dress, and she used to carry a meter stick, like one of them really long rulers that she used to use to tap the board because she was short. So she used to tap the board to show you what she was talking about. And obviously, if you got out of line or if you went real quiet, you'd get one of them across the back of the legs. She was a nasty piece of work. But yeah, I absolutely relate to that. I bet a few people do as well. There's a reason they chose the teacher's design to be the way it is, because it's generic. It's relatable. Terrifying, but unfortunately a lot of people have a shared experience there. Vikinky80 says hello. Hello there. I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. I'm just going to call you Vicky because it's easier to pronounce, and I think if I say the second half of your name I might get demonetized. But hello. It's really nice to see you. I'm glad you can make it to the stream. I'm sorry it took so long to greet you. Jack, why do you think some monsters have crazy powers like the Butler, Lady, Thin Man, Northwind, Mirrorman, Ferryman, and nuns from the Sound of Nightmares? I'm not making the last one up. No, you're not making the last one up. You're absolutely right. It was at least described as a nun, and yeah, she did seem to have some freakish powers. How do these monsters and kids like Mono and Lo get these powers? What does it mean for the Nowhere? I think that some of these characters are. I think they're people that enjoy being there. Okay, so bear with me. What I think is that not everyone that goes to the Nowhere wants to be there. Like the viewers and the guests and like the denizens, like the dwellers from the necropolis in Little Nightmares 3. I think that some of those people don't want to be there, and they've made a conscious effort to either escape or at least survive. That's why you find the televisions are disposed of. In the Pale City, it looks like before the signal tower took over, people made a conscious effort to get rid of the televisions. You find them in the bins, you find them in the woods, you find them in the ocean, you find them hanging en masse in buildings, just thrown through floors and destroyed in every way possible, thrown out of windows, because the people there didn't want to be corrupted by the signal tower. They didn't want the view. They didn't want to become a viewer. They didn't want to be corrupted by the Nowhere. They're trying to live their life outside of it, and the Nowhere is doing its best to corrupt them by enforcing its will on them through the signal tower, using the televisions as a nucleus for that. Much the same as the Maw is using its draw of food. That's why no one ever leaves, and it's forcing people to become guests by like bringing them to this place and then feeding them, like subjecting them to this kind of treatment. So I think the people who end up developing these special powers are the people that basically give themselves to the Nowhere. People who found their way to the Nowhere that are inherently evil. Like, so the viewers might be people that have ended up there by accident. Like I'll use hell or purgatory as a concept. So if we were to look at religion, for instance, and I know religion's a really like sensitive topic, but bear with me for the sake of the narrative. Let's say I am a Christian and I believe in God and I believe in Jesus Christ and I believe in heaven and hell. Well, I don't think I'm a bad person. I've got a kind heart and a good soul, and I try to be friendly and nice and accepting and tolerant and all the rest of it. But according to God's 10 Commandments, I'm going to hell because I've done a lot of things on there. I've caused people harm, I've lied, I've stole, I've done a lot of negative things in my life as I've grown up. And these are things that, according to the 10 Commandments, I will not be forgiven for and I will be punished for. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean I belong in hell or I belong in purgatory. I've just ended up there. Maybe some of these people who are like the viewers and the guests and the patients, the mid enemies, the lesser enemies that end up in the Nowhere. Maybe they're there and they just want to get out. They don't belong there. But then there's people like the teacher and the doctor and the chefs, people that enjoy hurting people and torturing people. They've all got names like that, haven't they? The bloodthirsty hunter, the sadistic teacher, and all of this. So it could be people that have just accepted their fate, and in doing so, the Nowhere has granted them sort of a sense of domain over certain areas, like the teacher with the school, the thin man with his tower, the lady with the maw, and even the butler. Maybe the butler could have been the head of the house at one point. Maybe the butler was the boss of the nest, but they managed to subdue him, and that's why he's bound. That's why his hands are locked and the key is hidden. Because if he had his access to his full power, maybe he'd take the nest back from the pretender. Maybe he's forced into servitude by the fact that he's locked in. I think that maybe the nowhere will corrupt these people, and when you accept the nowhere and become a part of it voluntarily, that's when it'll augment you to being a more powerful and more authoritative entity within the nowhere. Maybe. And yeah, same goes for like the ferryman, the North Wind. I feel the same about them as well. Mirrorman. I feel like all of these people. A ferryman, I feel like, is in a league of his own. I feel like he has more significance than any of those other guys do. But it's that's again something that I don't know a lot about. I just feel like he does. I just feel like his presence is more impactful than anybody else's. I love the Spirited Away movie, as do I. I think it's fantastic. Random Channel's got to head out. See you later, Random Channel. I'm sorry if you've already gone, but it's been... Oh, excuse me. It's been great having you here. I'm sorry I keep doing that, by the way. I'm trying not to cough because it'll be gross if I do. Based on, hey, Jem. Hey, Based on. What are you doing? How are you? It's really good to see you. I'm glad you can make the stream. Karina Blick, what do you mean? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that's in reference to. I'm sorry, I might have missed that. Appleman, I'm still wondering why there was an actual ferry in Little Nightmares 1 when the guests are entering the mall. Oh yeah, well that's, so the maw, apparently according to the law of the maw, in an unintentional rhyme, the maw never appears in the same place twice. It always shows up randomly, but it has to have some kind of draw. And it would make sense that somebody who works on that ferry has communication with the lady, so she will give them coordinates. It's like, right, this is where we're going to show up this year or this month or however often the maw reappears and surfaces to get more guests on board. So like this month we're going to be here, and it sends a person on the ferry, like some kind of boatman, not necessarily the ferryman, but somebody on that ferry to go to the mainland, pick up the guests and bring them back. There was a ferry and it did drop people off. It dropped the guests off at the maw. It would make sense that the driver of that ferry is someone that actually works for the lady on the maw, I believe. Could be the Wax Bellman. I don't think so, but it's the only other character that we know worked on the maw. But even then, it's I think it's recently been theorized, and it might even be cemented. It might be true that the ferryman and the Wax Bellman are the same character. It was just like a different skin for the same person or something like that. I don't know if that's true. I've never seen it confirmed, but I've seen enough people mention it for it to be worthy of note. Since you can't play any of the Fallout games, you could watch the show coming on Prime. I could actually, yeah. Again, if I had the time. It's not that I don't want to play these games and watch these shows. I just literally don't have the time. Like from an outsider's perspective, you guys must think that I have a whole lot of time on my hands to do. Because when I'm not here on YouTube, you don't know what I'm up to, but I can tell you now, I'm at work, I'm at the gym, I'm working at the gym, I'm editing, I'm theorizing, I'm scripting, I'm coding, I'm working, I'm a busy dude, and it's not a lot of fun to have to live that way, because it means that the only freedom I get, I use to do this, which I love to do, but I'm limited to about a 2-hour window where I'm actually able to do this every month. So for 2 hours every month, I get to do what I actually enjoy. The rest of the time, I have to earn enough money to survive. I'm afforded the luxury of being able to do this by the fact that I work solidly for the rest of the month. So yeah, I'd love to play these games and watch these movies and shows and things like that. And maybe I will, but I'm gonna have to get rich first. So if you want to help me do that, feel free. No, that wasn't a hint. Please don't actually do that. Unless you are absolutely loaded and you just feel like changing someone's life, then by all means. Mr. Beast, if you're out there, do us a favour, my brother. Gemini, I have a challenge for you. You can play Little Nightmares 3 without dying. I absolutely will be doing that. I'll definitely be doing a zero death run on Little Nightmares 3. Maybe not my first try, for sure not my first try, in fact, but I'll definitely do it. Appleman says in a TV series they should make it so that the story follows the mainland in the semi-final. It's a prequel which explains how they got to nowhere. Yeah, that could be cool. Kind of Star Wars it. So they tell you a story, and then in the next one it's a prequel, as it were. I need a release date. Yeah, don't we all, Ghoul Games? Don't we all? Can you react to Mono and Six's Nightmare series? Yeah, I mean, I probably will, as long as everything comes under like Creative Commons and like licensing. I'll have to write to I'll have to write to so if I was to do reaction content where I write to another creator, I would have to have their express permission to react to their content. Because as a creator, as a content creator on YouTube, you're not allowed to just grab someone else's content and watch it. If you're at least not monetized anyway. It's kind of unethical for me to get on someone else's channel and just be like, right, you know, for my content today, I'm going to be reacting to this person's content. Because, like, if they haven't given you permission to do that, it could be frowned upon. And I don't want to step on anyone's toes or upset anybody. If that's something that you guys would like to see me do, like, if there's things that you would like me to react to and you'd like to watch my reaction, I absolutely will. But you'll have to bear with me while I write to the original creator and make sure I have their permission to react to their content before I upload it. So if you want to see it, drop me a comment and let me know, either in the live now or in another video or something like that, because I read all my comments. Or in the Discord if you guys are Boom Squad members or membership program members or anything like that. If you have a means to communicate, there is stuff that you'd like to see me react to, let me know. But it won't be immediate, and it won't be right now, because obviously I'm going to have to get in touch with the original content creators before I can react to anything, because that's just how you play fair on YouTube. I have a challenge for you. Can you rap and play Little Nightmares 3 like Corey X, please? Play Corey Kenshin, right? This is the thing. Corey Kenshin can actually rap. I can't rap. Like, I will more than happily play the game, and I could try and rap, but I can't do it. I'm not a rapper. I don't even think I know a single rap verse, especially not a Little Nightmares version, do I? What's JT Music's one? Oh, you know, I listen to so many Little Nightmares raps and I can't call any of them to mind. Because I'm not a rapper, I don't sing them. I don't rap them, I don't sing them, I just listen to them. I know there's a good bit where the Gnomes have one. It's in JT Music's Little Nightmares video. What's the song called? Hungry for Another One, where the Gnomes are rapping. And they say something along the line, I think they say, follow us and you might make it alive, even though not many of us survive. Give me a hug, tell me it's alright, whatever you do, just stay out of sight. Powerful eyes, watch all the time, don't ever step in the light that they shine. That kind of thing, it's awesome. But I can't do it, because it's delivered very, very well by Skull, who's the actual rapper. I can't do it, he can, exceedingly well. I can't even breathe properly, never mind a rap. What are your favourite chapters from Little Nightmares 1 and 2, DLC included? Little Nightmares 2 is the school. The school is always my favourite part of every game combined. From the Little Nightmares franchise at least, the school is fantastic. Little Nightmares 1 is the kitchens. I absolutely loved the kitchens. They were so unearthly and awkward and just I really thought they nailed it with that. I like the whole game, don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick a favourite place, it's the kitchens. I love getting to the kitchens and exploring because they're so intricate and clever, but they're well lit and it's really odd. I think the school and the kitchens, they're really strange because you tend to associate these games with like darkness and like a blue purplish hue with dark humidity and that. The kitchens and the school are light. You know, they're brightly lit with fluorescent lights and sterile environments and things like that. And they're still petrifying. And I think it's because of that duality of, like, it's really scary in the dark, but it's even scarier in the light. I feel like that's excellent. I really like that. So, yeah, the school and the kitchens. Maybe Blindfold Kid is the janitor since he got caught by the thin man, so he got to the tower, Six replaced him, but maybe he was already warped into stock. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, that could be a thing, because we don't know how the loop works. Like, you know, it might not be chronologically linear or anything like that. It could very well be that, like, some of the comic book kids are people that we haven't seen. I will love you if I have a puppy in your video. You know, I haven't got a puppy, but I did actually find a lost dog, about 2 months ago. I found a little lost dog in the street, and he ran out into the street, and cars were swerving, and I panicked, and I just picked him up and brought him home, and I kept him here for like 12 hours until I managed to get in touch with his owner, and I returned him. He was lovely, but I couldn't look after an animal. I don't have the capacity to take care of anything. When Little Nightmares 3 comes out, I won't have a life for about a month. Likewise, yeah. In fact, my entire life is going to be dedicated to playing the game and then theorizing about the game. I love games that have a dog. I know, Nevada. I know you're an animal person. President of even Mr. President, how are you, sir? It's really good for you to be here. I'm really glad you can make it, my brother. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Nevada believes in God. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. You're entitled to believe in whatever you want to believe in. If it makes you a better person, by all means. If you believe that, if your faith and your belief gives you a better direction of life and a sense of belonging, or like whatever it does for you, as long as it's positive, I fully support it. Absolutely. No questions asked. I have a theory the teacher and the girl from the TV are the same person but from a different timeline. That's possible as well. I think Jord actually touched on something like that before, where, you know, when you turn on the janitor's TV and there's a lady in a kitchen cooking, there was a theory going around that he was, that lady was the teacher. Gemini, have you ever helped an animal? Yes, lots, because I used to work at a zoo. In fact, if any of you guys want to know my funny kangaroo story, let me know. Drop me a little drop me a kangaroo emoji if you want to learn about my funny kangaroo story, because it was fun and I did a good thing, but it was awesome. Bro, my name is not that hard to pronounce. By the way, it means Viking in Finnish. Well, that explains it. I'm not Finnish. But yeah, I'm really sorry. No. Is it Vikinky or Vikinky? See, this is the thing. If you say it to me, like if I was on the phone to you now and you said it to me, I'd be able to pronounce it every time. But right now, I'm just like, I look at these names and I'm like, how do I say it? That people do it with mine all the time. People call me Gemini. And it's like Gemini. It's like, no, Gemini. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm never offended by it, because it's like, it's one of those things. Some people like don't have the word Gemini in their native language, so it's all good. But yeah, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. Vikinky. I'm sorry. Clamoria just came back from lunch. No, I'm properly filled up to theorize. Good, I'm glad. But we only have a few more minutes left because I am going to cut this stream relatively short for two reasons. Number one, I still feel kind of sick and I don't want to like overshoot it. I'm getting kind of tired and I don't want to like burn out my voice or anything. My throat already hurts. And also I want to tune into 50B2's stream because he's also going to be streaming in about half an hour. And I would like to be there for that because I like his content. Have I ever played Little Big Planet games? No, I haven't. I did consider buying it, though, because there was actually... oh, see you later, Billy Bob. Thanks for coming on. No, I haven't. I thought about buying it, but only because I'd want to remake Little Nightmares levels in Little Big Planet. But that's the only reason. For me, it wasn't a good enough reason to buy the game. Okay, can I drop a link to what I found in the chat regarding what you can, but I don't think it'll let you. For some reason, it never lets people drop links. But if you would tell me, like, if you'll go to the comment section of another video, like one of my videos, drop me a comment and tell me what to search for, and say, you know, react to this, and then tell me what to search for, and tell me the channel name. I will absolutely do that. It won't let you type the comment. It won't let you link. Like type the link out. I don't know why. It's something to do with sharing. I don't know. It's the algorithm doesn't like you doing it. So if you put a link in this chat box, it will just disappear. I won't see it. But if you let me know what you'd like me to react to, I will find it. Yeah, just tell me how. It would have been cool to see while playing in the walking hall with elevator behind you and the bellman. Yeah, see, I'd have loved to see the Wax Bellman. In fact, he was at Gamescom back in like 2015 or something when Little Nightmares 1 was announced, and the Wax Bellman was there in full costume and everything. It was awesome. I have to head out. No worries, TJK. Got a channel to run. Yes, you do. And I'll be checking it out. I'm really glad you could stop by the stream. Thank you for stopping in, saying hello to me. Clamori, me if I was Mr. Beast. I will pay you $1 billion to give you Little Nightmares 3 right now. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and Mr. Beast probably could as well. Alex the Frog, I think the theory that the Wax Bellman and the Ferryman are the same person originated from Little Nightmares' Twitter account referring to the Ferryman as the Candleman. This was before the Sound of Nightmares podcast. Interesting. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. It's in YouTube at mono_sixes. I would love to see it. Also, I don't know why, but I'm probably their most famous person, so I can ask. Yes, yeah, absolutely do. Yeah, feel free to do that. If you would like to see my reaction to their content, drop it in my comments, drop it in their comments. You know, let people know, because if you let people know, I've had a number of YouTubers reach out to me and say, you know, would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? So yeah, if they reach out to me, then by all means, that's even better. But yeah, drop it in both our comment sections if you would be so kind, Paperbag. That's really cool of you. There's actual Little Nightmares raps. There is. There actually is. Yeah, there's several of them, and they're all really good. His face is dirty. Could be. Mono has no home and no girlfriend, no pet, and he's a loser. Oh, you can't do our boy like that. Mono's awesome. What do you think about a suburbs area in a Little Nightmares game? You know what, right? That would be really cool. And I tell you should look up, because I took some inspiration from this while making... So the video you see tomorrow takes a lot of inspiration from a channel called GamerJube. And GamerJube made... It was what we would like to see in Little Nightmares 3. And it was a series of concepts that they created. I didn't get to watch them all. I only just discovered it recently. But basically they speculated on all these different areas and the enemies you might find in them. And the first episode, I think, is called The Suburbs. And they explore like a residential area with like a gardener and a postman and one of the women that lives in the house called the mother, and a bunch of other stuff. It's really cool, and I won't talk too much about it here because it's their concept, their idea, and they created it. So you should go over to GamerJube and have a look at them. I think they've got a lot more subscribers than me, like 200,000 or more. I think it was 200,000 last time I checked. So it's probably way higher now. But either way, it's really cool, and the animation style on their channel is very similar to what I've managed to create with mine. Again, my style is very rudimentary and kind of like not great, but I did my best in the time I had. But yeah, I think the suburbs would be a fantastic area to think about. By the way, streaming Little Nightmares 3 won't be a good idea because on Terrico's first playthrough of 2, 10 minutes into the stream, someone spoiled the end right away and he played... Nah, yeah, you see, this is why I'm not going to live stream it. It's not going to happen. I'm not live streaming it. I am going to play it in my own time. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to release the video to you guys for you to watch. I'll live stream it, but only after I know how it ends. Like, once I've played it through with both characters, and once I've played it two-player as well, because I will be playing it with somebody else at some point. So I'll play multiplayer, I'll play it as low, I'll play it as alone, I'll play it multiplayer, and then I'll go live. Kangaroos! I think we can all agree to know we're corrupt by twisting people's desires and distorting their form gradually, just like the Venom symbiote of Spider-Man and the One Ring in the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Damn, you've got a lot of fish, Nevada. Got a lot of pets as well, haven't you? I don't have any pets at all. I've had all of them. Like, I've had lizards, cats, dogs, snakes, birds, fish, guinea pigs, rabbits. I've had everything. But I haven't got the capacity to keep or to love anything. I like animals a lot, don't get me wrong, but I lack the capacity to love anything, even people. Do you think Little Nightmares 3 will get a DLC, and if so, how soon from the release? I don't know. At this moment in time, I don't think that it'll get a DLC. I think if they do, it'll be a decision that they make a long time from now. Like they'll like test that, they'll release the game, and then they'll maybe consider doing a DLC depending on how successful the game is in the first 6 months or whatever. But yeah, awesome. Alex the Frog's leaving. No worries, Alex. Thanks a lot for your contributions today. I've really enjoyed reading your theories. Thanks for stopping by again, my brother. Clamori, if you go back to my newer shot of the new enemy, I dropped the links in the comments there. I will check that out. I will absolutely check that out for you, Clamori. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Little Nightmares 3 has confirmed co-op. Yes, it does, brother. Yes, it does. But it's not split screen. It's literally online co-op only. Only online co-op. But the good thing is, I think only one person has to own the game. So if I own the game and I play it with you, you don't have to buy it. Only I do. I think that's how it works anyway. Really hope YouTubers don't turn the third game down just because they don't see a straight connection. Yeah, likewise, because I feel like the game needs to be standalone, as they all do. I would like to see like subtle nods and everything to characters that I like and concepts that I'm familiar with, and the Little Nightmares universe that I'm a part of. But yeah, that's something that we're just going to have to live with. I would love to see more of what I love, but I also would like to see some change. I'd like to see an expansion of the stories we don't know. In fact, that's a lot of what Theorizing is, and a lot of what this concept that I'm bringing out tomorrow does. Exploring things that never were, or at least we don't think they are. All really cool. All really cool. Detective Fallen in the building. How you doing, brother? It's great to see ya. Why I don't have kids yet? I can relate, brother. Just got audio working. Love hearing from you, dude. All the rest of the string goes well. Thank you for the kind words, Detective. It's always great to have members of the Boom Squad up in here. Great to see you, my guy. Thanks so much for stopping in. Season 2 of the podcast would be wild. Yes, it would. Yes, it absolutely would. All right, super fast. I'm just going to tell you my kangaroo story. So basically, I worked at a zoo called Flamingo Land here in the United Kingdom. And my bus, I used to take a bus. They had like a community bus that would drop you off at work, but it always arrived there at 9 o'clock. And sometimes I didn't start my shift until about 11. So at about like 10 o'clock in the morning, I used to just walk around the zoo. You know, I just used to go and look at the animals and buy a coffee and walk around and wait for my shift to begin. And while I was walking around one day, I walked past the kangaroo pen, and I noticed there was a long thing that I thought was a snake at first that I nearly stood on, hanging out of one of the cages. Like the cage had a 4-inch gap at the bottom of it, and a kangaroo, a baby one, a joey, was just laying there, out cold, with its tail on the path. And I thought, I can't leave that there. Someone's going to trod on its tail. I nearly stood on it. So I took his tail and I pushed it under the fence. And that frightened him, so he jumped up. And when he jumped up, I could see something was wrong. Because he jumped and he was all jerky. And at first I thought he was just tired. But then he fell again. And he started to twitch and foam and bubble. And his eyes were going wild. And he was just jerking all frantically. And I'm like, oh God, he's having a fit. He was having like an epileptic fit, an episode. And I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I was like, the cage is like 7 feet high. And I'm like, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? I've got to help him. So I scaled the cage. I climbed the cage, jumped into the pen, and I just picked him up and I hugged him. Now, Kangaroo Joey is kind of big. So I'm like, I've got him in my arms like this, and I'm hugging him. Shh, it's okay. And I'm trying to settle him down, and he's bucking and freaking out in my hands because he's still having a fit. And I'm hugging him like that. And I'm like, oh no, please be okay, please be okay, please. I've got to find a zookeeper. Because I wasn't a zookeeper. I worked in the games and the arcade department, which is why I didn't have to be at work until 11. And I was killing time walking around the zoo. And anyway, I'm carrying this baby Joey, and I think, right, I've got to find a zookeeper. I need to find someone who can help this animal. And as I turned around, his mother was stood behind me. Do you know how big kangaroos actually are? They're about 6 feet tall. So this mother was just standing there looking super jacked, and I was like, I turned around and I'm just like, oh, is this yours? And there was loads of them. Like, I didn't realise when I jumped in, because I jumped in a moment of passion. I was just, I've got to help. So I jumped in, I picked up the Joey, and then by the time I stood up and turned around, there was about 6 of these big kangaroos, like big adult kangaroos, kind of surrounding me. And I was just like, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? I can't put him down. I can't run. I'm just going to have to go. And the place that I needed to get to, the veterinary area, was right near the kangaroo pen at the time. There was like a staff area, and I was like, if I can just get from one side of this paddock to the other alive, I can get him some help. So I just put my head down and I walked as slowly as I could past the other kangaroos and stuff, and I edged my way through. I'm sorry, and they're all just eyeballing me, and I thought, if one of these creatures decides to mess me up, it will. Have you ever seen a kangaroo fight? Like, they've got huge claws and they can box. Like, they're super quick. They've got like lightning fast reflexes. And if they kick you, they'll break all your ribs. They'll turn all your bones to mush. They're incredible. really powerful, really strong, and really intimidating. I'm walking along this kangaroo. I get halfway through the paddock and I hear a voice say, "Oi, what are you doing in there?" And it's the zookeeper. And he's got his radio and he's shouting at me. And I'm like, "Oh, kangaroo's hurt, he needs help, he needs help." And he's like, "Get out of the paddock." So I go waddling over, and they ended up helping it. I didn't get hurt. I received a disciplinary, where my job was at risk because I was stupid to jump in a cage with wild animals, but I panicked. I was like, I want to help. And I thought I was doing the right thing. And technically I was, but what I really should have done is run around the paddock and told the zookeeper to go in the paddock and do it. But I just acted on instinct. But yeah, that's my funny kangaroo story. It was scary as hell, but it was cool. It was cool. I got to be up close and personal with some kangaroos that are a lot more intimidating than I thought they were. I'm just glad it wasn't a baby tiger that I had to jump in with, because if I turned around to a mother tiger, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. They would have messed me up. After this stream ends, I'll be watching 50 stream. Yeah, absolutely. Any of you guys that are sticking around afterwards, if you've got a bit of time on your hands, in 20 minutes or so, 50B2 is going to be going live, and he's going to be doing pretty much the same thing I'm doing here. He might be playing Little Nightmares as well at the time, so you get to enjoy watching some of the videos and all that. Some of the gameplay, which you don't get from my channel anymore. So yeah, please feel free to jump over to 50B2's channel, subscribe, drop a like, and be sure to tell him Gemini sent you. Viking, what's your favourite episode from the Sounds of Nightmares? Mine's the first one. It did have a nice aesthetic and intriguing story. I really enjoyed it. But my favourite one is Deluge of the Inevitable. It was written by Just Jord. Granted, I lean a little bit more towards Jord, like Jord's content, because I think it's brilliant. And I like Jord a lot as a guy. So episode 5 is my personal favourite. But something else. Here you go. All right, one last little tidbit, guys, and then I'm going to get out of here. Let me just answer these last questions. I'll give you one more little tidbit of information, and then I'm going to leave because I do have an appointment to keep. Jim getting duped by kangaroos is a scary idea. What I hear. Oh, thank you. The Roo's fine. Yeah, he had epilepsy. So what had happened was, I think it was something like there was a part of the cage that had a sign, and on the back of the sign, it was a metal plate on the back of the sign. So as the sun's come over the thing, the flashing lights have freaked him out, and he's obviously had an epileptic fit, and he's gone down. And I panicked and jumped in. But once they got him into like the surgery, they took him into the room. He was fine. He was absolutely fine. They moved him around to a different paddock. I think he's still there now, for all I know. He was only a baby at the time, but they did actually thank me for what I did and told me that he was okay. He was 100% fine. He got the treatment he needed, and then they moved him to a safer part of the paddock where he was like less subject to the metal on the back. I think they actually covered the metal backing of that sign with like a dark plastic covering that absorbs light better to prevent it happening again. But yeah, the little kangaroo is absolutely fine. I got in trouble, but I also got a big thank you because I was trying to do the right thing. I just kind of went the wrong way about it. But yeah, I did try. And I'm really glad I got to help. Yeah, so last little tidbit of information. Could have seen you at Flamingo Land. Yeah, you wouldn't have known it was me, but yeah. It was a very long time ago now, and I never really go anymore. I probably go like once every couple of years with friends, just as a random adventure, like a day out for fun, see the animals, have a water fight, go on the rides, win a prize or two, because I used to work on the game, so I know how to rig them all. So like anyone that recognises me doesn't let me play because I always win, because I know how to play the games, because that was my job, was to literally just play games all day. The games where you say like, get the ball in the bucket, you win a prize. I never lose because I know all the tricks, because I worked there. So I learned all the tricks and I know how it works. So when people see me coming, they're like, oh no, don't let him play. And they literally won't let me play. They're allowed, because I worked there, they're allowed to deny me access to the game. So if I want to play, they're like, no, your friends can play, but you can't, because I'll win. Hello, just got here. Hope you've been having a good day. Yeah, fantastic day, Mickey. Absolutely fantastic day, and it's great to see you. I'm really sorry because I'm actually about to wrap this up after this last little tidbit of information that I'm going to leave you guys with. But it's really good to see you. I wish that we could. I wish that we could have talked a little bit more. But I will be going live again, probably sooner rather than later. And I do have some content coming out for you guys tomorrow as well that I really hope that you're going to enjoy. And I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Last bit of information that I'll leave you to think about. Little Nightmares 3 is being produced by Supermassive Games. And The Sounds of Nightmares, I think it was episode 4, with the man in the purple suit, with the puppet, in the episode with Rusty and his gang in the circus, with the performers and things like that. That was written by Supermassive. Supermassive Games wrote that episode specifically. So it's funny that Supermassive are making the game, and the game includes the circus area, you know, the festival with the big wheel that was included in the thing, and the big top tent, which was also included in The Sounds of Nightmares, and which is on the front cover of the game, which we know exists in the game. So I think if we're going to see any of the enemies from The Sounds of Nightmares in Little Nightmares 3, it's going to be the purple dude with a puppet. That's what I reckon. That's my prediction. I think that it just ties in too well. You know, they've included an idea that they're going to make. I didn't realise up until last week that they wrote that episode, and it just makes sense. You know, I was thinking, why is this episode so well written? Why do they seem to know so much about the way this thing works? And it's because they created this area. They made up the circus, they made up the purple dude, they made up Rusty, and they made up the whole interaction that ties the whole thing together. And then these are the same people that made the cover art. They made the level design. They made the big top tent. They made the big wheel that Noon goes on with to have a conversation with Rusty. So if they are going to be any enemies in the game from The Sounds of Nightmares, it's most likely, in my opinion, to be the one that Supermassive came up with themselves, the purple guy with the puppet. I'll leave you guys with that and let you consider it. So as a last little thing, please smash like on the video if you haven't already, because it really helps boost me with the algorithm, helps me stay relevant, which is why I came on and did this live stream today, so as to engage with you guys and catch up with everything that I might have been missing over the past little while. Please feel free to drop over to 50B2's channel immediately after this, because in like 15 minutes he's going to be live doing very much the same thing. So if you're not tired of theorizing about Little Nightmares yet, please drop over to 50B2's channel, drop him a sub, drop him a like, and tell him Gemini sent you. And as a last little thing, just a bit of shameless self-promotion, ring the notification bell, because in the next couple of days, most likely tomorrow morning, or like 12 hours from now. Sorry, I think somebody just opened my front door. Sorry, 1 second. Yo! No, they didn't. I think it was just somebody being really noisy outside. Anyway, I'm absolutely fine. I'll check that out in just a second. There is a video coming out tomorrow that I really hope you guys will enjoy. I worked really hard on it. Please ring the notification bell so that you don't miss it. Thank you so much for all the love and support that I've had on the channel so far. But for now, I'm going to call it a day because I'm really tired and I really want to catch up with Fipsy's stream. Gemini's being robbed. I'm not being robbed, trust me. No, like, nobody's going to break in here. It would be a really, really bad idea to break into my house. Trust me. It really would. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you all later. And if you're dropping over to 50B2's channel, I'll see you in the live chat there as well. Like, I might not be super active in the chat, but I will be there and I will be listening, because the all-seeing eye is always watching. So I'll see you then. But until next time, that's game over.